What's up, y'all? It's Friday evening. It's 7:04 p.m. This is your boy, Mo Delgado, and welcome to the New Norm 2.0. It is Friday evening on the 9th of April. A lot of things have transpired recently, and a few things that I wanted to touch bases on. Right now, the discussion at Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C., as far as the president's concerned, is the president is trying to instill more control in gun activity, more control in strategic gun ordinances and laws throughout all the place. So he's trying to limit access to individuals who may have had access to guns, and trying to make it more reasonable for individuals to feel safe, I guess. So with that being said, that's one of those type of things that we have to really look at it and consider the truth that this shit is getting crazy as far as gun violence and what have you. Not even saying that it's getting crazy, because it's always been crazy. It's just the truth is that there's too many opportunities for individuals, in my opinion, to have access to guns who may not be capable of understanding the full, the full scope of gun ownership, the potentials of gun usage, the penalties involved, the impacts involved. I think there's a whole lot more to be discussed. And I'm very certain that moving forward, we're going to see a lot more activity on Capitol Hill and in DC based on that, because truth of the matter is that present conditions are making it really hard for individuals to be able to cope, and the potential for folks to snap is real. And there's more and more people looking for, I'm not going to say an excuse, and in some cases it is an excuse, because they were filled with hatred from the get-go. You see white supremacists talk all the time. The discussion's always about a race war. You hear the individuals who are doomsdayers always thinking about zombies and so on and so forth. Our children are being subjected consistently with war games and destroying, and you get higher points. You feel more acceptance if you are either robbing and stealing on concepts of Grand Theft Auto, or destroying other creatures or beings, Halo, or other militant games like that. And that's the concerns that we have in America, because we are gun happy, I think, in my opinion. I think we're extremely gun happy. I think that we've been skating around on the idea of the Second Amendment so long that it's misunderstood. And in some cases, it's abused. And when we allow the abuse of our Constitution, we are allowing far too much to transpire continuously. And in doing so, the potential of harm comes about. And we have to be very cognizant that we're not allowing people who are ill having access to these guns and having access to weapons of mass destruction. So these are the things that are ongoing. And right now, the president himself basically says he's got to do what he can, given his rights, using the executive order, to be able to execute some sort of plan or action to protect the United States more, the citizens of the United States. So let's all be more involved in this whole concept, because you have certain individuals who are really holding on to their weapons, and they're holding on to their guns profusely, and they feel in danger with the thought of someone attempting to take their guns away, or the ability to be able to draw a gun when they feel in fear. And they are willing to do whatever it takes to ensure that they have that safety net there. And that safety net seems to always come with a clip, and or a revolver, and or some other weapon where someone's life could be taken from. So whatever we can as human beings, I think it implores us to play a more active role into ensuring that we are part of that discussion. Don't let that discussion go on through corporations and large organizations like the National Rifle Association. Let that discussion be taking place by the cities most impacted. Let's have more interaction from our inner cities, the people who are directly impacted from proximity violence, um, places of high levels of violence. Let these individuals who are impacted consistently, let their voices be heard. No longer shall we hold on to the understandings of the past where people were so concerned of their country being taken from them that we've lost sight that we're losing lives. The most important asset in any existence is the asset of having life, I think. And then mothers burying their children and fathers burying their children, that's a major loss. So whatever we can, let's be more active into it, y'all. And pay attention because I think there's going to be a lot of execution being taken place from the presidential office. Penn is going to be active continuously to try to he can do to execute some sort of restriction, some sort of plan to help us feel safer. And let's do what we can to make sure that whatever that plan is, it's one that works. It works for us all, not only those who are not as supportive of guns, but also those who are gun advocates. So we can meet at the table and find some sort of balance. I myself have been anti-gun forever. But given the circumstances of this recent decade, I'm open to possession of a weapon. I'm open to the uses of a weapon if necessary. And we have to make sure that the ability is still there. However, those abilities don't come easily. Having access to be able to purchase your guns is there, but don't make it so easy. We have to stop making it easy for individuals to get these quote unquote assets, these collector's items, and give them only to those people who have proven that they are capable of utilizing the guns safely, if that's ever a possibility. To me, using a gun safely, I guess it's only shooting at inanimate objects, something like a rock, a tree, something like that. But even with that, that's not necessarily come with certainty. So I really don't know. But whatever we do, just pay attention, y'all. Be more active and speak about it. Speak about it. The more discussion we have about this, the more we have more inclusion involved. Um, welcome in family member Laurel is on. What happened, Laurel? You bounced off.
Buenos tardes. No, you know me. I'm
Okay,
cleaning up and doing stuff. So
in and out, in and out. I got you. How are you?
okay, I'm a little tired, but that's normal.
I understand.
How was Mo? How was your
Um, my
vacation?
well, it was it was okay. It was good in some instances, and other times it was trying. You know how you go to distances and you're trying to ensure everything is safe and everything is good, and just time and schedule sometimes get in the way. And we were able to see a lot of family members that we loved that we haven't seen so long. But the unfortunate happening of one of our loved ones have passed during the time we were there, so it ended in a somber note.
Hmm.
So, oh, I see. Okay, got your hair done did differently. Okay.
I can't hear what you're saying. I know you're talking. Hold on a second.
Uh-huh. You can't hear me? Mike, you can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, it wasn't in my ear,
Oh,
so I couldn't hear you. Yeah.
got you. Got you.
Mhm.
So, I was just talking a few minutes ago about how the president is working on executive orders to help with gun violence, helping with the incidences that we're facing nowadays and seeing what they can do. Um, see you looking at yourself. I got you.
This hair is all over the place.
Yeah, I said the same thing with me. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So
Oh.
I know we've talked about it before on the show about guns and everything, but what's your feeling about this situation of guns? Ralph, you there? Froze. Okay, that's your feeling. Okay, I got you. All right. Well, whenever she comes back in, let's go back and dive into some of the other topics that we talked about earlier. I don't know what happened. She had died out. Let's see if she come back in. Secondly, we have, unfortunately, the way things have gone. People's internet goes in and out. The strength, the broadband. Sometimes it's the crazy family members in India who may have caused some want and desire to mess with us while we're on. This is what we say jokingly, but there you go.
I didn't leave. I can still hear everything you said. I don't know what happened.
But you froze, just like you just froze now. I don't know what it is. Brother Sandy's coming on too. There we go.
Good afternoon.
My
Hey,
man.
Sandy.
What's up?
What up?
How you
How
feeling?
are you, Sandy?
I'm
Good.
good. I'm good.
Good. How was your week, brother?
I'm all right. How y'all doing?
Staying
Good.
alive, man. Staying healthy.
That's
But
what
to
I'm
answer
trying to
your
do every day.
question, I never like guns. Guns is just a way to take another life. I don't see how it can protect you any more than you fighting with your hands.
Right.
A lot of people don't even fight with their hands no more. They just start shooting people.
Take it to
You
the real.
know.
What about you, Sandy? What's your
So
feelings about the situation now with the president trying to execute some executive orders on gun violence?
I think that we need to readdress. I think we need gun education.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think we need to get rid of guns. I think there's too many out there already for us to get rid of them because you don't want to come into a gunfight with a knife.
Word.
So I think that we need to start with more education with guns. I don't think we need to get rid of guns. I think that a person in public should be able to carry or have or possess the best guns out. And if they're automatic, and that's what it is. The people that are killing people, for the most part, aren't your law-abiding citizens. And those people that are killing people who are illegal are going to find illegal guns anyway. So we might as well just learn how to use our own guns and be just as armed as they are.
Absolutely.
That's the way I
It's
feel.
a shame how. Yeah. It's a shame. I was having testy mic situation. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Say,
you,
Yeah, I
but I
can.
was muted for some reason.
that's because I heard background noise. I heard you having a conversation
Oh,
with
I'm
some.
at work. I'm at work, so I'm
that
gonna get off
wasn't
in a
me,
minute.
dear.
Oh, Laurel. I heard Laurel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's somebody there. But either which way.
No, there's nobody here. I didn't have no conversation. Just me.
Okay. Sorry about that. Um, but back to what we were saying before. Um, we were talking just in general how now the gun violence and things are going on. These are concerns that are growing more and more. Violence seems to be running rampant in young people. And I've seen videos recently how a lot of young people, like, they're doing smash and grabs and a lot of automobile theft. Like they're joyriding. They running up to
hmm
people with cars. I saw this one instance where it seemed like a person was coming in to a neighborhood. They had a Tesla or something, and this brother just came up out of nowhere with a gun. You can tell he's young and foolish, and trying to take the car from the person in the car.
Grand
While he
Theft Auto.
and it's a shame how guns, the access to guns to me is half the problem. The other half is, again, like you said, the lack of education. If we were properly trained in understanding guns, would we want to have guns? Would we need guns? I don't know. I don't know. Can y'all hear me?
Can
hmm
hear you fine. Yep.
Okay. So
Um,
I don't know if that's the case.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Yeah. And I said earlier, what do you think about the way the games are, how violent they are? Do you think that plays anything into it? Do
Of
you think
course.
that impacts the lives of our young people or people who play that? Do you
Of
think that
course.
influences them?
Everything is an influencer, whether it's your parent, whether it's a TV, whether it's a movie, whether it's a book.
Mhm.
Somewhere, they formulated this idea. I'm gonna go rob this dude of his car. He's gonna give it to me because I got a gun, or I'm gonna
Mhm.
shoot him.
Yeah.
So it came from somewhere. I wouldn't allow my son to play that stuff.
Yeah, neither
But
did. But did you see how the two young girls tried to steal the car?
Yeah.
that's
Ended up killing the guy.
ridiculous. And now they done ruined their lives for the rest of their lives.
And it's exactly the thing, because they're taking. It seems to be, you know how the justice system weighs heavier on certain crimes than other crimes, right? But a
Hmm.
situation where somebody steals a car, it's going to be equivalent to someone using a line of coke, or crack. And I don't know if there's going to be a heavy weight on that kind of influence, like someone who Grand Theft Auto is something that's happens too. It's happened too many. It's too often. Newark was known for that type of shit.
Right.
People robbing a car, taking a car consistently.
So known that they made a movie about it.
Exactly, New Jersey Drive. So,
Hmm.
and the more and more that emphasis was, the more the laws were trying to create to be even more stricter in those neighborhoods. Who was being affected most by those laws? Our own. It's so hard, man. But there's a bad consequence to just about everything that happens.
Hmm.
But I'm so concerned about the present condition of our people, because as more and more time we see the people in violent, they're becoming more violent. There's younger people becoming more violent. Is
I
this
think
pandemic causing it? Go ahead, bro.
think it's chemicals in the food, personally. That's what I really think it is. I think there's chemicals in the food. I think there's chemicals in the air that are creating mood elevators and mood depressors. And I think we're all in a science experiment.
All right, see you later.
Hi, Nikki. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Hey, y'all. Hi, Sandy.
How you doing?
Hey
But
Nikki.
look. Let me finish giving my meds. I'll
Hey,
catch up with you a
Val.
little bit later.
Okay, Sandy.
Hey
All right,
Nikki.
later.
All right, Sandy. I'm gonna get. I mean, Nikki. I'm gonna get you some WD-40. That sound like you need it. Your screen
Oh,
door. It
you,
looks like you
you
need.
busting already?
No, I'm not busting. I'm just trying to look out for you. I think you need some WD-40. That's all right. I got you.
Actually, that was somebody going in and out my door.
Exactly. Your door needs WD-40. I got you.
Whatever.
I got you. So I hope you're well, Nikki. How you doing?
I'm good. I just said, oh my God, what time is it?
It's totally understood. But
It's evening.
we're talking a little bit about gun violence. We're talking about how guns and how our young people seem to be more involved, seems to be in violence, in violent actions here and there. We've seen some videos lately of two young girls trying to hijack a car from a it seemed to be he was a Lyft driver or some sort of type of driver
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, I saw that.
Remember how, and he ended up dead because they tried to take his car. Then we saw another video where a young man ran out seeing a Tesla, and the guy tried to straight up just steal the Tesla from him, try to shoot at him. Guy took off. He kept shooting at him as he drove off. And you're seeing more and more videos about young people and young people doing violent things. A lot of gun activity, and I'm
They need
concerned.
their asses whipped. That's what they need.
Well,
Yeah, it's terrible. It's really terrible. Me and my mom was talking about the incident on the boardwalk, and she said, "When you were 12 years old, I wish you would have gone on the boardwalk." She said, "You knew better." I said, "I know."
Exactly.
yeah, I was raised the same way.
Exactly. And
You have to represent your family whenever you were out. You represented your family, and you made sure you represented your family in the best way possible. You didn't do anything that would bring any kind of shame to your family. That's what I was taught. You know what I mean? So it's really disheartening. And if you saw the video, it was heartbreaking because there were like little kids involved in stuff like this.
I could not believe the words that were coming out of those children's mouths and stuff. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, I'm not shocked about it. I'm just disappointed that it happened so easily.
But
There's not.
I don't mean shocked. But all I think about when I see stuff about that, I'm like, they must not have been beat the way I was beat.
Uh,
So, because had they been beat like I was, they wouldn't have never did anything like that.
Exactly. And that's old school parenting, man. I'm an advocate for old school parenting. And even in that situation, I just saw recently a TikTok video with his brother, right? rolled up in it, and you see a young man, it seemed a young Caucasian man, and start singing a song talking about if you use a belt to correct your child, it's called abuse. And then the response was totally nah. If you didn't beat your child or you didn't whip your child, then that's why you have them crying, yelling, using drugs, calling you, saying they hate you and all this stuff. It was just so. It was from one aspect to another. It was like the perfect response, and it's the same shit that we talk about. You know, old school parenting will put a foot in your backside, but make sure that you got up in time for school, right?
Exactly. But my son is saying he's not going to beat his kids. He was like, I beat him, and he don't see, he's like, why should I beat my kids? You beat me, and still, I'm like, okay, you saying you ain't gonna beat them now, but watch. I'm like, think about the type of person you are now. That's because you got beaten.
Right, right. Even in that situation,
Man,
because
beat that
we were
butt.
all,
I got
well,
foot,
I,
hand, bat, ball, shoes, pots, pans, whatever was close came my
man,
way. She couldn't reach me, so trust me, something reached me.
being raised as a from a single parent, my mother raised me alone. Right, my father wasn't there. I had a stepfather that was just there in essence, but he was never there. So my mom raised me, and one of the biggest things that she sort of instilled in me was pride and honor, right? And how she instilled it was she always told me, you got to represent the family. You got to make sure you go out there. Don't act up and make me look bad. Don't act up and make yourself and your family look bad. I'm gonna be really disappointed. And that resonated to me. I didn't ever want to disappoint my mom. But I made mistakes like young people do. The minute I lied, I got my ass handed to me. I got beat up. You know what I mean? I got whooped in the way accordingly, and I deserved to be whooped because I lied. To this day, I have a certain standard that I follow that my mom gave to me. Don't lie to me and don't steal. If you don't lie to me, you don't steal, we can work with the rest of it. But those are like the principal things you don't do. You don't lie to me
Exactly.
and you don't steal. There's no reason for you to steal.
Exactly. I ain't never been in jail. I don't do drugs. I might do a little, wine and stuff every now and then, but you'll never see me in the street acting all
Right.
crazy. My son is respectful because he know I don't play. It's just like exactly. Don't have me out there looking stupid. I don't have no word coming back to me. You done did something. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So all that don't beat your kid. That's why these kids out here acting crazy now.
Yeah.
What
I mean,
No
about
respect. These kids don't have no respect for themselves.
right.
I had to tell a guy at work. I'm like, because your children aren't being beat doesn't mean they're going to be not going to be bad. Because I was terrible, but I still got beaten.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I deserved every beating I got.
Exactly. And I had a young girl.
I could,
You and me both, but not because I was bad. It's because I was always into something I had no business being into. And still that's the case. But
What?
I seen this young lady today. She had 3 kids, and them kids was running her crazy, running all over the place, acting crazy. No, she just looking at them like, "What are you doing? Who's the parent here?"
I don't know. I get, I feel for families, especially single parents, when you see their kids unruly in certain place, because certain standards I was raised with, no question about it. And others I wasn't. Like I wasn't necessarily raised with the concept as, a child stays in a child's place. I guess I was so entertained at the time that I never really wanted to be around adults. I didn't want to do adult things. I really enjoyed trying to be as much of a kid as I could. But certain. Nikki's about to get up and handle something. You okay, Nick?
Get them, Nick.
Okay.
I didn't know what adult things was until I was actually an adult because a
Right.
kid stayed with the kids and
Yep.
it's like you know what adult things was, but the kids
Yeah.
weren't involved in that. The kids wasn't in the room with the adults. Wasn't no adults. You were sitting in the kids' face while they was having adult conversations. And you were a kid. You go play with the kids.
Right. There's certain
You
standards.
know.
I mean, it wasn't nothing. Plus, I didn't find it fun, or I didn't find it like taboo where I was so instigate. I wanted to be involved. I mean, I was part of. We had collectives. You know what I mean? Puerto Rican household around Christmas, everyone's there. Drinking,
Mm-hmm.
time, and we're all family function
Not
type.
just in the Puerto Rican house. It was the same way in my household. My aunts and my uncles and the kids
Mhm.
came over, whether it was summertime or Thanksgiving, Christmas. The house
Yeah.
would be full of people. The house wasn't that big, it was only 3 bedroom, but it was be full of people. And it'd be family, and they laughing and they playing games, card games, drinking, acting crazy. Watching football games and everything else, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas. it was Cowboys versus Eagles in my house.
Okay. Okay.
you know?
Okay. But I know, as I said, old school standards to me works. You know what I mean? They've always worked. All this nonsense now where
hmm
you should reason with your child and you should do this and you should do
There
that.
ain't reason nothing. Do as I say, do it, and say as I do. You
I
know.
I think so, in my opinion, I think it makes it harder for kids when you give them options more and they can't handle the understanding of options, obligations, and consequences of it. Then you make it hard.
hmm
But in this instance right now, when I'm talking about recent times with cabin fever and all things are going, because you see them, like we saw the videos. I don't know if you paid attention, but you've seen the videos of the kids going out to, and I say kids respectively because they're much younger than I am, but we're talking about young adults, and they're out there in like Miami and other areas during spring break, and they're wilding out. I saw one video where something took place and people had guns and people were shooting, and we talking about crowds, thousands of people running towards exits and outsides, all kinds of potential harm that could have taken place. They said one night they got like some in excess of 40 guns off of one strip of Miami, and I'm thinking to myself, there you go, somebody who just doesn't know how to have a good time, bringing weapons to some place where you don't need to bring weapons. What kind of shit is that? Nick, you all right? You got any blood stains on your hands? Anything? You good?
No, I had to run to the car to get something for my sister. I heard you talking about Nikki.
Because you put them figures on like, oh, I'm about
You
to
put
go
them
out.
shoes on, like, let me go handle this real fast.
Once
I
Mo
was like,
said it,
uh-oh,
I
somebody gonna get
realized it.
it.
I said, uh-huh.
So the Air Force One
hmm
came on in a minute, was like, what? But we were talking, these kids, and these days with the violence wise, I'm concerned if this pandemic is having an effect on these folks. And these kids are looking at violence like a means for them to like let loose, to have all this pent up pressure and tension that they've had, and not being able to express themselves. I mean, you're seeing it more and more these days where they're celebrating having to do these underground events. I've seen parties galore when they shouldn't have. The pandemic's running wild and people got sick. Other activities out there. I've seen skating when nobody else should have been skating. I've seen like mini concerts and cookouts. I remember just here in Stanley Holmes Village in the middle of the pandemic, and the craziest part of the pandemic here in Lang City that we knew of. And we had like maybe a couple hundred people outside of Stanley having a cookout. And we went there, we're pleading with them, please wear a mask, please wear a mask. And all I heard was conspiracy theories. Oh, this is all part of the 5G, because of the 5G. This is why we having a whole bunch of stuff, but they're not doing anything to try to protect
Until their
themselves.
loved one dies and somebody is close to them pass away from it.
Yep.
You
And
know.
you see it. And you see it. And unfortunately, many
So I
people
get
have.
it every night at work. They come through and they don't want to wear their mask. Well, you're gonna have to leave. What do you mean? I pay for a room. They go to your room.
Hmm.
Go to your room because you can't be out here without a mask. Oh, this is crazy. This. Look, dude. And it's mostly us. Like it's mostly us, black folks, that want to give a hard time. People, I'm doing my job. You're down here making my job harder. Leave. Have a good night. Like there's always, pushbacks, and especially from black women. I don't understand why black women do each other like this. I don't understand it.
I, I don't know. Where we were, um, everyone was like that. I didn't see just black folks. I saw white folks. I saw some Latinos. Everyone. It seemed like no one wanted to wear a mask, and it was one of those type of things like you better not say something either.
Shut up, Mo.
What is that? You always loud?
Cheetos.
I'm like, what is that?
Always loud? I thought she
I'm
was
opening
taking
up some
styrofoam while
What
Cheetos.
you.
is it?
Cheetos sound like that.
There ain't no
I'm opening
Cheetos.
up some
Cheetos?
Cheetos. I'm starving.
Oh well, I could have sent
Oh
you
my
some food or
god.
something to you ahead of time. That was
I'm
loud.
trying
That
to
sounded like
lose weight,
firecrackers was
man.
going off. I said, what is that?
I thought she was trying to
But
be
now I'm
funny.
not talking about just the mask period. I'm just talking about how black people in general do each other. And as majority of the time is that age bracket between 25 and 40. Like they don't want to be told they can't do something. And I'm looking at you like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
You know what? I will honestly say that aggression has been the biggest problem in inner relationships with all of us. Aggression. It's always somebody's got to be the tougher person. You got to be the bigger asshole, and it seems like folks honestly feel they can't get respected or treated like a human being unless they're treated like an asshole. And
A
I'm
true asshole. And it's like, okay, well, and then like, oh, come on, like,
mm-hmm.
bruh, all these boobs I got, bruh, like seriously,
I mean, disrespect.
it's unbelievable, and it's like I dread going in there now.
It's really hard.
Adrian,
What's up, brother Adrian?
Yo, what's good, folks? What's up, peeps?
How you
You
doing, man?
regret going in where? Jarrell.
To
say hi.
Jarrell. You said you regret going in where?
work.
Work.
Oh, work. Okay.
Sometimes it causes a regret to work, because she has to interact with some of the individuals, and they just wild, disrespectful.
Wild and ignorant, disrespectful, and the first thing they thrown out was the N word. They don't want nobody to use it against them. Then why are you saying it? If you don't want it used against you, why is that word even coming out your mouth?
It's sad.
The nigga word and the B word. That's all you hear all night long, and they're using it against each other.
Yeah.
And just regular conversation, like that's a normal thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, brother Adrian, how you been, man? How was your week?
Gina's coming in. Hey, Gina.
Yeah.
Excellent, folks. How's everybody doing tonight?
Everybody's well,
How's
man.
everybody doing?
Me, I'm
I
just
see
talking
Gina's
about some
coming right behind
aggressions
me,
and
huh?
stuff. I gotta come to work.
I'm hoping Gina can get through. She sometimes has technical issues.
Slow.
But we were just talking a little bit about how we just developed into this conversation about how we're interacting, how folks seem to be a lot more aggressive and brash about things, and how we're like really abrasive towards one another. And it seems to be our folks, more abrasive with one another. And it's just tiring. It's weighing us down as human beings. And then I was just making a correlation earlier how this pandemic issue is like really pushing us, it's testing us. And
That was before then too, but now it's just worse.
well, yeah, this is emphasizing it even more so. It's like amplifying even more. And I'm just concerned as we move forward that we have to really pay attention and stuff. What are your thoughts on it, Adrian?
Well, they have a name for it. It's called pandemic fatigue. A lot of people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Everything is coming to light. It's like a pot. It's bubbling. I mean, I was just watching the news out of Florida just now, and I noticed that the state of Florida is getting ready to sue the CDC. Reason being is that
For what?
line, actually, they're like, look, we want cruising again. Carnival Cruise Line, Virgin. Everybody wants to get back on the water and start cruising all over again. So they're trying to get everything up and running by June, July. So they're suing the CDC and the federal government so that they could get everything reopened to get back on that cruise, because you got to get that buffet going. You know how to do.
Yeah. The Tonga line, right? Exactly. There's so many conga lines still waiting to be filled, right? That's a shame.
Exactly.
I saw that.
Everything to get back out there.
I saw that. That's the overwhelming discussion in every state, even in New Jersey. All these mass is like groupings, organizations of this industries, everything having to do tourist and entertainment industry. Everybody's griping that they've lost so much money. It's like the value of money to them surpasses the value of life. And they're like, they've lost so much money.
They don't care. As long as it's not their family, they don't give a damn. That's the way it works. Until it hits their family. That's the bottom line.
It's a damn shame. I mean, if you look at it, I've always been concerned about the shipping industry. You know what I mean? About cruising and stuff like that. Because to me, it's like it's too much of a drama on a boat anyway. Because you're going out in the middle of nowhere, shit happens. Somebody tips you over the side of the boat, your body's lost, and they cover up. There's so much. I have friends of mine that work in the cruising
because they're in international waters. A lot of the stuff, don't really get investigated. I've heard of a few people falling off the dying side of a ship, and I've been on a few cruises myself, and I'm like, yo, to be lost out in this bad boy, call it a day. It's like,
and so you can imagine
for the cruise ship to turn back around, it's a long shot.
Mm-hmm. And so you can imagine with the conditions now that a boat, nothing but a concealed area, what kind of damage a pandemic or any kind of illness can do on many people and their bodies. Remember that one situation? Remember in the beginning of the pandemic, there was like 1 or 2 boats that they weren't allowed to dock, and people had to stay on the boat.
Correct.
People were dying on the boat, keeping them in the freezer. I was like, if that
wow.
is a scary ass situation, I don't know what is.
Oh, well, get a load of this. Because down in the Caribbean, St. Vincent, there's a volcano that actually is erupting right about now. Down in St. Vincent. So what's happening now, a lot of the cruise ships are coming to the rescue of the island of St. Vincent. So they're sending the cruise ships down there. But there is a little problem there. All of the people who haven't been vaccinated have to stay on land. And all of the people who have been vaccinated could get on the cruise ship. So now they have a total separation going on down there.
We were just talking about that, right?
Yeah, but I agree
What's
with
that?
I said, well, when we were just talking about that, how they're going to start restricting stuff and obligating people.
Yeah.
Florida's
separating
right?
people.
Yeah. Florida's in a situation right now. They're debating. The government of Florida wants to protect people, and there's not an obligation in other areas that they wanted to make obligation. I don't know. Is that Gina we see up there? Hi, Gina.
Hello. I cleared my cookies and I'm still holding this dumb tablet. She made it.
I don't know. We gotta find you.
Gina, you're clearing your cookies and I'm holding mine.
I'm about to hold mine too, Adrian. I just took them out the oven.
Forget all y'all. You got Nikki up there eating corn chips and y'all eating cookies.
Cheetos.
Oh, Cheetos.
Hey,
I don't
like
eat
a funky
funky
big
corn
cookie.
chips.
Sorry. They have much here. No. It's good to see y'all. I missed y'all. I thought about y'all when I was away.
Ain't nothing like a freshly baked cookie. You ain't bring me no coffee cup or nothing. No tea cup, no coffee cup.
Man, please, we're still waiting. What are you talking about?
Where you go?
Virginia.
You waiting for what?
When, Mo? When did you go to Virginia?
A couple days ago.
Oh, did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I got to see family. I missed them. We haven't been there in over 2 years, so we haven't seen them. And
but your cousin Ronnie lived there, don't she?
Yeah, we didn't get to see Ronnie. I saw her husband though. She keep talking about. Yep. But we went down to Virginia, and we were able to see some family, and we haven't seen so long. And I got to see my son was able to see his cousins. He got real tight with his cousins, and I wanted him to do that. And check this out. We were just talking about schools potentials, and what did we receive today? But an acceptance letter.
I saw that acceptance letter. Congratulations.
Yeah, my son got an
acceptance letter. I didn't know what it was. It was half crumpled.
To Virginia State. I was like, wow. It caught me out there, man. I was tearing up for a second. I mean, I was like, man, my son did it finally. But I was like, hold up, man. We got to get him in there first. Got to pay for tuition and everything first. But yeah, and he's got a lot of family.
So he should have his academic scholarships.
I'm just happy he got in. All that academic scholarship, that might be a little further than he can see. Maybe the next year he might be eligible for a couple second semester ones. But right now, let's see what we can do. I'll be selling a lot of ice cups and carrot cake.
and coquito.
I might have to institute a mercantile license so I can sell all these things. Yeah, any damn thing I possibly can legally.
No, all you gotta do is do the coquito all year round.
Yeah,
I'm down with that, Gina.
Yo, and because we're in New Jersey and weed is legal in here, it'd be coquito with CBD oil in it.
Not for me.
No,
I can't handle that
Just
much.
watch out for the setups, Mo.
Pass it my way.
I know.
Just pass it my way.
Yeah, no, I don't do anything unless it's legal and make sure it's done right. But I'm gonna have to do something. Y'all gonna see me really active in the next couple of months because I got some fundraisings to do. So Don't get mad if all of a sudden y'all see me in some club trying to, dance and get my flashbacks on me with $2.
Lord.
You gonna
Tell
get
me
your
to come to
sexy
that
back, boss.
party.
I'm a real man. I do whatever I need to do for my son and my family. I make sure everything is good.
Right. That's right.
A little bit something.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
let me know so I can get my $1 bills up.
Oh man, here we go.
Oh Lord.
As long as
Lord.
it ain't in the coins, we'll be good.
No, dollar bills float,
Yeah, I hear you.
They add up one by one.
I hear you. But look,
Right?
Gina's giggling. See my big ass somewhere dancing around. That'd be hilarious, right?
Hey, I've seen worse.
I'd be laughing too,
I've
trust me. So
seen
I feel good.
worse.
That's half the fun.
They got a pole
I
strong
ain't got
enough
no
for
ice
you.
cream, y'all. I'm about to be sad.
It'd be reinforced. I make sure I get a big one reinforced. You're
I
hilarious.
ain't got no ice cream. I'm about to be sad.
Oh look, she's talking about ice cream now. But let's take it back. I love the finer points and joking around, but I want to get y'all opinions about this way the pandemic is floating. We're all living in different sides of the world, right? What are y'all seeing that you can attribute directly to this pandemic? Like I'm seeing how I'm noticing how young folks or people who thrive, I ain't gonna say just young folks, because it ain't just young folks. People who thrive on social outings are starting to snap. They're like, they don't know what to do. They're like looking for things and making up things to be social. Like I swear, I saw like a pop-up party at a Wawa like 2 weeks ago.
In the parking lot.
Hell yeah! Somebody had their music playing in the car, and you had other people around, and they were dancing. I said, "Damn! I mean, that's fun, but okay, I see how this is rocking."
People are tired of sitting in the house. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted
Go
to
to
be
work.
hot enough
You
to
ain't
sit on
gotta sit in the
my porch.
house. Go to work.
I go to work, but shit, I want to sit on my porch with my shoes off.
Yes, you.
Then do that. You on your porch.
It's cold outside, honey.
That's an excuse. I mean, I don't know why, but I treated this pandemic has always been concerned about, being around others, but it doesn't stop me. I'll go different places. If walk on a boardwalk.
I'm good. Either way.
Yep, I'm good.
You don't have to always be
I'm
closed
good.
in.
And that's
See,
crazy. Now I gotta consider getting the vaccine now.
That's right.
Because unfortunately the
listen.
schools are
Listen. Speaking of that,
mandating
you can't get into
they're mandating it, right? That's what we just
if you
talked about.
can't get into the convention center, go to Mount Zion Church.
I ain't saying
Mount
that.
Zion
Zion,
walk in.
Locations yet. I was telling my story. I ain't talking about no locations yet.
Okay.
Oh, but then don't tell me your story then.
That's right. That's right.
Tell you.
I'll be in Texas.
I ain't get to tell you. I don't think it's fair that somebody has to be mandated or they'll take something from you like the education.
I don't think it's fair that you don't want to be considerate of others.
I am considerate of others. Stay 6 feet. I tell them stay 6 feet
You
and I'm
can't
wearing
say
masks.
no damn 6 feet.
Yeah.
That's being considerate. Don't come near me. That's being considerate. I don't go up in people's face and hey, no, I don't do that. That's not
Stay
me.
ass home and do your classes online.
I'm different.
He does
So
it.
I want to, and I want to stay away, and I want to wear a mask. I'll sit in the back of the class, but I don't think I should be mandated. I mean, I stay away from people. I went a whole year without COVID, so I'm doing something right. Then that's staying away from people. I don't go visit nobody. I don't go with crowds. I don't go to parties. I don't do none of that. So yes, I'm being fair and I'm being considerate of others because I don't go around.
Nikki got vaccine, and now she's part of the vaccine police, right? All of a sudden,
Hey.
you're unfair because you can't. You just got
I
it.
told you.
Hey, I got the
My
vaccine. I
uncle-
still don't want you over my face.
My uncle is 84 years old. I cannot take the chance of catching something that disease that's jab and bringing it home to him. I'm sorry.
I totally understand it. In your household,
All you got to do is do the right. All you had to do before you got the vaccine.
Too many people was catching it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people around me was too. and I
Now,
didn't.
even though we vaccinated, we can still get it. You still got to do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I know that, but at
Yeah.
least I can say I did something to prevent it. I won't feel bad if something happens to him. I won't feel bad and say, well, it was my fault. So
But you know what? The sad reality is that we have to consider the fact that the vaccine doesn't work that way. It doesn't prevent you from catching it, and it
A
doesn't
lot
prevent
of
you
people
from
got that
carrying it.
confused.
It doesn't prevent you from catching it or carrying it.
Yeah,
What
it just makes it so you don't get it as
it
bad.
waters down the impact of it happening again. It waters it down, so it makes it easier for your body to fight it. So, um, it's the truth. We have to be careful about it. However, there's a lot of discussion now about how each one is always different too. Like the Pfizer one you hear is working better with children. Forgive me, y'all. And it's working with children. And they talked about identifying youth between 12 and 17, working 100%. And I'm like, okay, great. But you have so many other individuals who it doesn't work with. So you have to be really concerned how all this impact goes on because we're not seeing it. Why am I not? Let me see.
what are you looking at?
All right, Mo, you done coughed one too many times coming from Virginia.
Yeah, for real. Now when he just did it, I was getting ready to dump on the screen.
Good time
Yeah.
to be quarantined.
I am
And after
officially,
the 14 vaccinated.
I'm officially quarantined. That's all. I'm officially quarantined. But Brother Amir Holland popped in and he says the shot is situational. I don't recommend it for everyone. Primarily the people who should get it are those who are at risk. I know people who got the shot and still got sick. So, everyone, it depends. Like it's
because they thinking that they can. Oh, and I hate the vaccinated people. They be like, oh well, and I be like at work, I be backing up from people, and they be like, well, I've been vaccinated. I hate them type of people. Stop telling people that you've been vaccinated. What about the other person? Ask, were you vaccinated too? I don't give a damn about you being vaccinated. Stay away from me. That's good for you. But
And-
do you know if I've been vaccinated?
yeah.
Those ones get on my nerves. Oh, I done been vaccinated.
But
So
you know what's also taking place though? We talked about this before also, that you're also seeing special patches and IDs being created to identify that you've been vaccinated. I'm like, isn't that the same concept that they did back when the Holocaust took place? People had special markings to identify them. I mean, it's really, this whole situation is making us look at life in different ways, different perspectives. Some of us may look at it from the health aspect, and some of us look at it from a grander scale of the risk behind it. But the truth of the matter is that this vaccine is an intimate decision that should be made for you. You and your family, you make that decision. We respectful, but if you're not knowledgeable about it, don't go by somebody else's understanding. But that's an intimate discussion between you, your God, and a decision that you have to make for yourself. So that's why I'm an advocate. Gina had said before, I'm not supportive of this whole concept that you must be vaccinated. It should be a choice that's been given to everyone. And then within that choice,
It's your life.
exactly, it's your life. However, I do understand that there's a risk. Right. Why should anyone be more at risk because of your choices? And that's something that's the truth all the way around. Why are we all becoming subjected to other people's choices? You can say that about any issue, any sickness. Before COVID-19 came about, what was the biggest hitter? Influenza, the flu. More people die from the flu than, well, can't say that now, but more people were dying from the flu. But coughing, sneezing, snot, all kinds of nasty stuff. People are interactive. We're just not hygienically responsible.
I haven't even caught in the common cold, and I catch a cold 4 times a year. Each time the season changes, I catch a cold. I have not had one all year. So I know it's due to proper hand sanitizing and masks. Has to be, because I haven't even caught in a cold in a year.
It doesn't hurt the fact that you spray everybody with bleach too, so
Yeah.
So
I got my bleach wipes ready for work tomorrow. I bleach everything down. Bleach it down.
She just extra as hell.
And it works.
It does.
It's
you know
been
what?
working.
I applaud everyone who's bumped up the ability to be able to maintain their own hygienic needs. Like I see more and more people. Like I'm really happy, and I pay attention to a lot of stuff. Like where we were, like I said, people weren't masked, they weren't doing shit in the whole nine. I mean, they were just out there looking like they were just glowing with illness. I was like, oh,
right.
you know? And they have a
He
certain
said
look.
glowing with illnesses.
Out there in the parking lot having conversations, looking at me like I'm wrong. I'm like, y'all can keep looking at me like you want to, but my mask is on to protect not only me from you, but you from me. I'm not happy. Nah, and I didn't have a problem with it, you know. But I said
I wish COVID drew flies. So yeah, so flies be buzzing around people's head when they walking. I wish it drew flies.
So the one you who had COVID.
Yes, you see the flies buzzing around their head.
That's dangerous.
Then you have Godzilla coming up out of the back
Crazy as
area.
hell. She's crazy.
That's dangerous. You know what? With that being said, think about it. If there was some way that someone created something to identify you to stand out in a crowd for whatever illness, if it's not an illness now, sexual preference, that's all that's involved in all that stuff. Will they use it for that type of thing to identify the difference? I mean, it is widely different, but you know, people want to see that.
How is it different? How is it
People
different?
wanna-
A marker is a
Because
marker.
you're still singling somebody out. You're still singling people out. I don't think that's
Exactly.
fair.
So how is it different?
It's not fair.
I'm just talking about COVID. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm just saying COVID. I wish it was a smell that attracts flies. That when you exhale and inhale, the flies attract and draw to it. I'm just talking about COVID. I ain't talking about nothing else.
But like you
But that's not right, Gina, because then you got people that's going to be ignorant and act all kinds of different ways. A person may not know that.
Yeah, because I would be the one to act ignorant, knowing that I see flies flying around your goddamn head and nose, and you outside intermingling with people. Yes, I will get ignorant. Stay in the house quarantine 14 days.
You have COVID. What if you don't know you have COVID?
I'm talking about when the flies. I'm talking about the catching flies.
Listen, you may not know you have COVID. You may not know you have COVID at that time.
When the flies come start buzzing around your head,
with that?
you want to know.
Now, it sounds like you don't.
Hey, Mom,
I like this movie.
Yes.
I would run right up to her and lick her face. Soon as I see how ignorant she acts because the flies are around her. You're ignorant as hell.
Ew.
What's the name of this show?
Oh my God.
Hold up, that's kind of kinky. Hold up now. Look, in people's face. Look, Laurel, keep that tongue away from us. Look. Oh man. Causing us to act in certain ways, don't we? That's funny. But
funny.
you know what? If the circumstances was like that, think about it. Like you identified right now early, Gina. Some people would treat others really, really badly.
That's like, what I'm saying.
Emotionally, they may not be able to handle that shit. And they snap, commit suicide, or kill other people.
Then they need to stay in the house for 14 days. That's what it's all about.
What if the
protecting somebody else? 14 days. People act like they can't quarantine like 2 weeks is going to kill them. Like, damn, what you did ain't no coming back. That you, let me try it again. I'll quarantine. Once you dead, you're dead.
Yes.
They can't help themselves. They got to come look at me at the credit union.
No, but
you can't
we got
stay
people
in
to
for
come to the credit
14
union
days.
every day.
No, but
you just keep it and got it. Shit.
Consider this situation.
14 days.
Quarantine is one thing, but it's a level of quarantine. You have some people who really shut themselves in, they don't go in and out of their home. But if you live alone and if you need food, then means you can't go anywhere to get some food. You got to go to a doctor. You can't go anywhere to see a doctor. So there's extreme cases. In extreme cases,
they ain't taking no doctor's appointments anyway. It's done by computer. I mean,
I've been to plenty of
mine did a visual visit. I didn't go in the office.
Not all doctors. Not all doctors are doing the virtual. Not all doctors. Some doctors.
I've been to plenty of doctors.
You can do virtual knowing you got COVID with your doctor. You can go to ShopRite long as you got a mask. double up, wear a mask. Wear gloves to protect the next person, knowing you have COVID. It's not rocket science. It's not. It's just being a human and caring about the next human being. Why people
But you
can't
said
get
the
that
They
in
key
these
don't
word.
countries?
care. That's the whole point.
Exactly. You said
They
the key
don't
word.
care.
Everybody does not care. Everybody does not care.
It's all
Right.
about
And that's
self.
sad.
Did my stimulus come in?
And
Did my
that's
stimulus
sad.
come in? Did my stimulus come in? Every day you asking about the stimulus. Get online back and stop coming in my credit union. Did my stimulus come in?
Your credit union.
Okay, sound like a
Yeah. Like,
Hey,
postal
no,
worker. I know.
no,
You know
Mo.
what? It's good.
Yeah, it's not like some
All
physical
members
person over there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
All
no, well,
that
Mo, she said my credit union, we got Josh tuition money from her credit union.
Her credit union. Yep.
Did
We'll
you,
be going to
Laurel,
her
did you
credit union.
offer them? Did you offer them the 800 number so they don't have to keep coming back and forth? Did you offer them the number so they can call and maybe don't have to come
you
in
give
so
them the
often?
800 number. We have ATMs. We have online banking. They can put the app on their phone. They just want to come in and stand there and look and be mad because they got to wait in line. Did my stimulus
Gina,
come in yet?
that 800 number ain't worth a damn, Gina. I'm
Well,
here to tell you. I fell asleep one day.
Some of these people have been in lockdown.
And I fell asleep one day waiting for them to answer. I woke up because I heard the lady screaming, hello, hello. Don't call that 1-800 shit.
No. You know what I've come to find?
What'd you say, Adrian?
Just the other day. Go ahead, Adrian. You was about to say something. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Listen, some of these people are lonely out here. They've been stuck up inside the house for a long time. The money's been funny. So they're coming out to see what they could actually get. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. That's what it's about.
And risk their life in the process.
Online banking, ATM.
Mask up.
They
That's just
got
the
to come inside.
Let's be honest, Laurel. They're in there just to see
I don't
your
be around people
sunshine,
that much, so I'm
get the
good.
sunshine from your face and the loving sentiments you give off. All that great
Well,
energy.
trust me, they don't see none of that. I be looking at them like, what you want now?
And
They don't come and see me. What you want?
Not to mention you're a celebrity. No. She's a
Some
celebrity.
people
So
are
they want to come in and take a look at her.
Yep. That's Laurel. That's Laurel from
cookie
the show. She's always cooking and eating.
Who's that lady that's always showing those dishes? What's those dishes? What's the real those dishes?
Mm-hmm. Look at you eating cookies, dumping milk.
See all the cookies and stuff? That's the reason why they're coming in. Next time, offer them some cookies and stop being so greedy. Feed them me. When they come in and ask for the stimulus, they have a cookie.
But you know what? I got mad
They
love
have
for you.
those cookies in plastic. They come in and say, "Where's my stimulus?" And say, "Have a cookie," and give them a cookie.
I respect you, greedy. I respect you, greedy. I appreciate that. She was able to do it in front of the camera, drink milk, drop stuff on the ground, on the table, and pick it up and eat it. That's right. That's her house, damn it.
I clean my table.
That's right.
And I have a plate. You can't see the plate.
I think it's because they love your attitude, your comeback. Some people just love that. Some people love
Be
that.
nice to the people. Girl, come on, girl. You can do it. You can do it.
I don't know what that is. What's that?
You don't know if that's part.
I had to look that up in the dictionary. NICE.
But you see, the thing about it is, when they come into your establishment, you know, eventually you got to go to their establishment, and they might be on the other side of the counter and might reciprocate exactly what you're dishing out. You ever thought of that?
All right. I won't be there. I do online banking. I bank online. I have the app on my phone.
You don't know if this could be part of their mental health regimen. They need this for their mental health. To be able to interact with you every day. You could be part of their solution plan. You keep it in mind by being nurse rate.
Yeah, be nice with them. Because you might end up going to dinner and the same person that was being nasty to.
We all know she got a couple sugar daddy wannabes coming to see her. My stimulus coming in. Let me see that money. My money coming in.
With the weed they pocket, setting off my allergies.
Oh, okay.
Well, but you got enough money to get your weed though.
I need to buy my medicine.
Just look it up and just thank you for coming in. There was a lollipop. Have yourself a nice day. What's so wrong with that? So
choke on it.
Or if you don't have a lollipop, give them a pen. Give them a free pen.
She'll turn around and say, "Hey, put this in your mouth, suck this, and get out." Suck this and get out. Some people
Have
like that
yourself
type
a
of
nice.
punishment. Some people like that punishment, man. That's crazy. That's like us messing with Nikki. Nikki at work, she let it out and all that stuff. Some people just love that type of punishment. I'm like, look, if she ain't cursing somebody out, there's something wrong. I think something's wrong. You gotta get it every once in a while. That's why I mess with my mother-in-law sometimes. She's got I can't go a couple days without hearing her curse me out for a little bit. Because something is wrong. If you're not doing that, something's wrong. I'm like, yo, what's wrong? You don't let me know more?
Mo is crazy.
I'll take you as you are, man. But I'm concerned about these people these days, man. You got some really odd behavior taking on. Odd behavior. I think it's crazy. The people at Walmart already know us by first name. They know the history. They see us all the damn time anyway. We should have part ownership in stocks in the company. So they see us all the time. So that's part of our mental health regimen. Just going to Walmart. I'll go to every aisle just so I can get a workout. Be out once or twice.
That's
right,
okay.
That's a couple laps.
It ain't working.
Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing to it. So, have y'all? This is on another situation. Did y'all see that the Prince of England, who is like the Queen's husband, Prince Edward, passed away? 99 years old.
99.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
99 years old. Did y'all know that?
Guess when
He
he
had heart
was
problems and he was
born.
in the hospital and stuff.
Hold up, but they were cousins.
Guess when he was born.
Huh?
He was born 1921 to 2021.
Wow.
Check that out. His birthday is
He
right
was
around the
100?
corner. They said he's like 2 weeks away from
99
his
years
birthday.
old.
2
when he
weeks. Yeah,
passed
2
away.
weeks.
99
Wow.
years old.
Yeah.
So he was 100 years old.
Married to
Yeah.
his cousin though.
Mm.
Yeah.
For real?
He didn't make it to 100.
Oh,
He got
Elizabeth was his cousin?
He is
got
his
close.
cousin.
It is not.
It is so.
Mo, who told you that?
I think it was a cousin. I think it was a cousin of her mother's, right?
No,
It
they
was like
asked
a second or
how
third
did
cousin
they
of her
meet?
mother's.
Well, they're cousins because they're family members. Yo, you don't think royalty does that tendency of doing that? They'll try to inbreed to keep stuff going on.
Mo, stop
I'm not.
starting rumors.
No, he's right. He's right.
I'm
It was a cousin of either his father or her mother. But yeah, they were like cousins. I saw it was on that show. Remember The Crown? It was on
By
Netflix.
marriage doesn't count.
Well, it
A
counts to
cousin.
them. You know how
Your
America.
cousin. Blood is blood, whether you married to him or not.
You know how
If you
America is
cousins by
enamored.
marriage, that don't count because y'all don't have the same blood.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know what the hell that means, but
If you're cousins
Spoke
because
for
somebody got married doesn't necessarily mean that y'all can't be involved because y'all not coming from the same grandparents and all of that stuff.
tree. Okay, I understand what you're saying. They're different trees, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
By
so
marriage.
so I understand. Cousins make dozens. I
That's
got
still too close for me. If you a cousin of a cousin, you still a cousin in my eyes. You still blood. If you cousin of a cousin, you still blood.
Y'all know in certain areas cousins can marry, like first cousins.
Shit, we got cousins.
I didn't say it didn't happen. I just said it's too close.
Also.
Like Laurel.
We got inbreeders.
Laurel, like one of your male cousins on your dad's side can marry one of your female cousins on your mom's side. They not related.
My dad was the only kid.
As far as he knows.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but first cousins can marry.
Yep. That's what they have DNA tests for.
All the time.
I don't know about all that stuff, but it's nasty, baby.
Well,
I get it for real.
That's what they do it all the time.
I don't want none of my
They do
mother's
that.
siblings, children. That's
I think
disgusting.
that's what's wrong with half of the people in the world too. Them ones is like not ratified because that
Inbreed.
family blood was too close.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that happens.
So they got the same chromosome.
You got
You can't have the same chromosomes. That's why they have a male and a female.
it happens in the islands. It happens in the back countries. It happens in big cities. Nasty is nasty is nasty. People get nasty with people they're related to. Then they find out. First off, they get nasty with one another, not knowing they're related. Then all of a sudden down the line, they find out, we're cousins. But hold up, we've just had sex a couple hundred times. I don't want to give that up. Jerome Gates, one of the rappers, talking about that. He said,
and it's not their fault either. If it does happen, that's the elders' fault for not keeping these families together and having reunions and letting these people, letting even families today, letting you know your cousins and your other cousins and your baby cousins growing up. That's not the children's fault.
Yeah,
it's
because
not their fault at all if they don't know.
My uncle that live with me now, he has grandchildren, and they don't know none of our family members except for us. He talking about he want to keep them away from us, from because he's a nut. But anyway, his grandkids don't know any of our other family members except for me because they come here to see him. I told him, I said 2 of them they're gonna go with one of their cousins and they're gonna have kids and then they're gonna be retarded as hell.
And it ain't gonna be their fault. It's the elders' fault.
But you know what? Let's be honest. If you're old enough,
it'll be your fault because you're gonna be the next elder. So somebody has to make that right.
We
sooner or later before that happens. Y'all gonna have a whole bunch of retards. I mean, not retards. Not the word anymore.
Thank you, Tanya.
But no, that's not even a word anymore. But people that's like, oh my goodness, they have kids. Not gonna yes.
Inbreeding has happened and has happened too often times as we have issues. We've seen
that's
that
happen with these dogs and stuff. These little miniature dogs they done created, they all messed up and needed vitamins and shots and hormone therapy and all sort of crap.
Let's get honest though. If we old enough to get busy with somebody, we should be old enough to ask questions. Who your relative?
Oh, come on, for real, Mo. For real,
who does that, Mo? For real, who does that?
You trying to get something?
Who does that? Oh, Laurel, put your hand down. Yeah, okay, you gotta slow down.
I'm saying,
no, my family is huge. My family is huge.
It's part of
my family is huge. My grandmom had 15 kids. My great grandmother had 15 kids. My grandmother had 8 kids. So we are just now. We're still trying to keep the younger situation, keep them. This is your cousin, this is your cousin, this cousin. Because there's still a lot of family we don't even know. But being that David's family came from North Carolina, also we made sure we wasn't related.
But hold up, Gina, both you and Nikki are from big families too. Big families. Both of you from big families, real big families.
And I never remember asking no guy who's your family. I didn't
you related to us, please.
Yeah, I know, Gina. Especially when you come to find out, that you married my nephew. I didn't even know that.
Exactly.
See.
Everybody have a good night. I'll talk to y'all this week.
You better not hang up. You better not hang up.
Where'd you go?
It's part of recording, though. When you have a conversation, you get to meet somebody, get to know each other.
She's laughing hysterically.
That's the whole point of conversation.
Everybody's related here in Atlantic City. You gotta ask those questions.
Your people from?
So you asked Mo who he related to, Trini?
He related to everybody. For my son, heck yeah. Like his daddy had 18 kids, and he got a lot of cousins.
Damn, your daddy was entertaining. Were your daddy playing in concert? Because that's entertainment, so I'll tell you. It's like
because my father had 22 kids. My father had 2 kids.
Those numbers are
it's one of those type of things that you should. Whether it's not a natural practice, maybe that's something that we're doing because if y'all paying attention to young people these days, there's no questioning. They're only talking, they were straight up, can I smash? Can I hit?
Yeah.
Can I fuck or whatever the situation? And if 2-3 seconds into a conversation, just meeting them, I'm like, you don't know what all kinds of hell you're walking into life.
You cannot tell me.
They don't go asking questions until they know everybody's sitting in the wedding party. Everybody sitting on both sides of the church or wherever know each other. They know each other.
First off, they're not getting married, but if they were, you got one lane of people and they're both related to both sides.
You said they're not getting married. But let me say this. That's one of the first questions we ask on our marriage applications. Are you related to each other? Because honestly, it's perfectly legal.
It's dumb as hell. Who gonna say that's dumb? That's dumb.
Well,
but people
but
will
it's
straight up
perfectly legal. You can marry your cousin.
and some cultures.
Well, that's not right. What you saying? That's right. That's not right.
I didn't say it's right. I just said it's legal. If someone says to me, "That's my cousin," I can't say you can't get married. It's not against the law. It's perfectly legal. Cousins can marry. First,
But you
can marry.
You cannot tell me.
They
You
can have
cannot
kids
tell
too.
me.
By law.
Yep.
Too.
It's nasty, but it happens.
By law. And you got certain states like Georgia where you can marry a 12-year-old child.
What? Oh, that's just crazy. Their parents got issue if they let that happen.
But let me say this, Nikki. Let me say this. What happened was culturally, that's what was happening. I'm sorry. If a parent
don't treat her like that.
He's yelling in my ear.
So what?
If a parent came in with their child that was under abuse, 18, 15, 16, and this was a grown man, if the parents were with them, they signed their paperwork.
Exactly.
Just recently, within the last year, it stopped. That New Jersey no longer does that. So now they go to, I think Baltimore. Maryland is one of the states where we can still do it, but we were doing it up until last year in New Jersey. That child could be 14 years old and a grown man, but as long as the parents said it's okay, they signed off and it was done.
Well, the parents should have been shot. They should have
But
been shot.
now you can't charge that grown man for statutory rape. That's statutory rape right there, but you can't charge him because that's his wife now.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
that's just letting y'all know.
And everything. They're arranged.
Y'all got any relatives saying I'm going to Maryland to go get married? Question them.
Yeah, for real, Mo. For real.
I want to see pictures and documents.
Check this out, because Billy Joel put it the best way. We didn't start the fire. The fire's been burning since the world started turning. That's true. We didn't start this fire. You know,
there you go.
About it is,
put it down, Mo. Put it down.
We didn't start the fire. The world is turning.
Exactly. Because imagine your parents is telling you don't do it, but then they had 22 kids. What makes you think you're gonna go back and say, wait a minute, you're telling me not to do it, but you got 22 kids. What's up with that? A big question mark.
Man, we have so much of that going on in the world.
But don't get involved. Don't get, like it's a day late and $1 short. You're trying to preach that, you got to start it off from the get-go.
And let me tell you, it used to burn me up. I would see these young girls coming in, and they couldn't even have eye contact with you. They couldn't look at us or anything because the parents and that man did everything. And that child was so scared that they couldn't even speak. They couldn't look at you or anything. It was already arranged.
I'm glad I didn't work in that office because I'd have been fired. Because I'd have been like, you a trifling mother effer.
I tell
you about God working.
Nikki would have gone to town on his ass.
I would have been going off, Adrian. I'd have been like, come here, let me pull you to the side.
What happens when that girl finally grow up? He gonna go get another girl? So what happens when that child grows up? He gonna leave her when she get grown and go get another kid? That's somebody with a problem.
Because they can do this.
And or the parents are selling them for their money to get money or something.
That's a lot what's going on.
It reminds me of that polygamy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. In these countries, man.
But in addition to that, it's not only the legal aspect. We got some people who never go through the legal aspect to get married, but they get married 10 and 20 times based on their religion, because the religion say they can do
that. That's crazy too. That's crazy too.
So that's one of those concerns. Nasty ass people all over the world do all kinds of stuff. And
he said nasty ass people.
we're the ones. Nasty people are the part of the people who create these laws and these cultures and these norms and these regulars all over the world. That's why you gotta ask. You gotta ask questions.
Hey Mo, here goes something. Here goes a transition for you. What about that guy Matt Gaetz, that Florida, the congressman from Florida that's been under investigation for messing around with a 17-year-old girl?
Yeah.
Yep.
17 years old. He was actually trafficking him and his boy.
Yep, back and forth to Florida. Same situation with the Trump bill. All the Trumpsters.
He said all the Trumpsters.
All of them over sexual trafficking young people. He about to get killed.
There goes the Here goes another one for you, Mo, because that guy's supposed to be speaking tonight, at Doral, which is Trump's mansion down in Florida. So he's down there with Trump tonight at a speaking engagement. The same guy that's being, investigated by the FBI. In reference to that child pornography, all that child, molestation, all that trafficking stuff.
Again, nasty ass people being allowed to do it, being allowed to do all kinds there. And again, it's one of those type of things. I do try not to ever judge people based on their preferences, right? Whatever your preference, however you get down, that's your business. However, how you get down, if it impacts my life and the way I live, then I got a problem with it. I'm having a major problem with these pedophiles and this understanding, because those children, when in essence, the elders that we have to depend on. They'll be the adults that we have to depend on. If their minds are not straight and being subjected to all kinds of perverse activities, so on and so forth, and they can never know how to live a normal, regular life, then they have to lean on society for help, and or they impact society in a negative way. So keep your shit in your pants. Stop being so damn weird about what you like out in public. Do what you do with yourself and whoever you choose to be with, but limit that shit so it doesn't impact in life. I mean, this pedophile shit is some other level kind of stuff, and you see more and more people, and I'm gonna say this, you're seeing the same type of people, rich, very wealthy, to do white empowered individuals that you see empowered to do this, hiding it, supporting one another, owning islands and businesses and so on and so forth, and protecting one another. It's not to say.
So you feel the same way about old women going with young boys?
I don't. That's some nasty shit too. I'm like, y'all.
Yeah, so I'm saying, but do you feel the same way?
I have a problem with old people preying on young people. I have a problem with that. I don't like it because I think it's unfair.
No, a lot of times it's the other way around too. The younger ones try to get the old one because they think they got some money.
Well, the reason
exactly.
But again, it has. We talking about innocent love between human beings. That's fine. That ain't a problem. But if you have a motive like that because it's money, then it ain't love. It ain't love.
You have a lot of young boys that want older women so that somebody can cook for them and do things that these young little
because the ones their age can't do it. They will never talk.
These young girls aren't like the older women, so they want somebody to do things for them. They want to be with older women.
Y'all exposing.
They want a mommy.
Exactly.
Listen to Gina.
Exactly. They haven't
had a mommy before, right, Gina?
I used to tell my wife, you better not ever call me daddy. Hell no.
Yeah. I don't call my man daddy. Never. No, I don't like that name.
Daddy, Papa, hell no. That's sick. That's sick. I don't like that, man. I don't like
that.
You know what? It ain't sound bad.
So you when you get in and she be like, "I Poppy, you don't like that? You lying."
No.
I know for real.
No. Not really. I don't like it. I don't like it.
He said, "Not really."
If a man,
everybody wants to big.
If every person's doing what they're supposed to do, they can't formulate words anyway. So if you formulate words and ideas, there's a problem.
Oh, please, Trini, stop that man from lying.
Ain't nobody lying. I got a resume.
Nikki, no, that's not me.
Hey, Mo.
Huh?
Did you wait a minute? I'm getting ready to take that off subject. Did you see your boy on the press conference talking about use the Tibbet? Dude, he sounded literate as hell. I was dying.
Let's just say speaking in public is not his strongest thing.
Who are you talking about?
George Tibbet. George Tibbet. He like use people. I'm like, use? Who the hell is use?
Who is George Tibbet?
That's what they call country grammar.
But look,
country grammar.
I'm not paying attention to none of this stuff out here. I'm not paying attention to this stuff. It just doesn't make sense.
You know what? I was thinking, I said, I don't think Mo likes it because the man is white. I'm like, that's what I think. I said, because the man is white, you don't agree to that. If it was another black man doing it, then you wouldn't feel that way.
About what?
about how that white man is talking about them. You don't like it just because he's white.
Which guy you talking about?
The bread man, the primetime man.
Oh, I don't like his undertone. I think he's racially biased all the way around. I think he's a bigot. And he's using even what he's saying sometimes. We all agree in some of the things he says. I don't like how he delivers his message, and I think he's a bigot. I think he's a racist bigot, and he's looking for all this, and he's feeding into
Who are
it.
you talking about?
So if it was a black man doing it, then you wouldn't have no problem with it.
Not necessarily, because I have a problem with people being racially bigoted. When they're bigot, I don't like bigots. You know.
Okay, three of us are out of the loop. And who gonna catch us up?
Because
I live right here in AC, and I have no clue what's going on.
Without being said, because I'm not going to give anyone credit about this, but I'm going to put it in the chat. Look for the chat. And
I saw something in my door. It was something about
that's what we're talking about.
The current mayor. Oh, but I looked at it and I threw it in the trash. I don't think I read it.
If you see the chat, that's the place that we're talking about. And the person who runs it, he plays these jokes and he thinks he's funny. But I think the only thing he's doing is his audience is primarily white and primarily biased. And he loves to feed to their humor, their understanding. He jokes around this and that. He makes these bigoted statements here and there that I swear to goodness, if he runs into somebody out in the street, known he say this, he might get his ass handed to him big time for being an openly bigoted man. Yes.
But I hear him talking about white people too. He was talking about Harry Haley, so he's a bigot against him too.
No.
He talks about him too.
He doesn't use the racial undertones when talking about him. He doesn't say that these idiosyncrasies that he says when he's talking about people of color. He just talks about the context.
I need to investigate this. Yes, who is this?
He only talks about the context of what they say. He only talks about the context of what he says. He doesn't call anyone who's of his own complexion a dumbass.
And ugly and all that, yeah.
He's only talked about the other person as being a sellout. So he talks demeaningly to people about people of color. And he's bigoted. I'm not. We're talking a little bit more than I'd like to because I don't want to fuel the nonsense. And I try to tell everybody, I said, we could talk a little bit about what's going on locally here and there, but I try not to fuel the passion of the individuals. Gina,
give me a name. Find out all I want.
Well, I'll talk to you later. Just be quiet. Go ahead,
Mo. I'll give you his name. And
send it to an email.
Not to a name.
Gina wants to investigate this nonsense, see what's going on over there.
Yeah. I just told y'all in the chat what was there. But like I said before, even in the instance with the other person, I try not to use their name because I don't want to give credit where no credit is due. You know,
so
they're now.
Nikki likes him. Nikki likes him, and you don't know what is going on here.
It's not that I like him. I just think that some of the stuff he's saying, because I don't like some of the people, is funny as hell.
Like and that's what I was saying. What he says sometimes we agree with because some of it's hilarious and it's on point. Some of the stuff he talks about, but when he talks about people of color in general, it has a racial undertone. It has a belittling. And he talks in a way that he doesn't talk about white people in that way. And because he does that, he's allowed to feel like he can do so. Nobody's placed his ass in check for it. He continues. And I think there's a way of talking about individuals in the way you want to without making it sound like you're from the hood type deal. And that's where the racial undertone, you know, my homie, my G, and you know, he says these things, and I'm like, nah, man. No. When you use terms like that, you're trying to belittle a race. When you're using a tone and you're trying to emphasize idiosyncrasies in the voice, in the tone, and an inflection and certain type things, you want to make certain recollections or collections to certain things that have, you want to make it correlate to things that are urban or ghetto per se, then I'm having a problem with you because you're a bigot. And because you're a bigot, I don't give a damn how good you are at saying what you're saying. You're a bigot, and you're not going to get any kind of love from it. That's how I look at it. I got no time. We have freedoms here in the United States, and I support the freedom. You have a freedom to be the most redneck asshole, as much of a cracker bastard as you want to be. You have
You're getting around.
you have the right to do so, and I will
Got that
defend it.
man started.
That's the thing. That's the difference. I will defend your right to be that way, because I solely believe in the right to freedom of voice, of freedom of speech, having your freedoms. I respect it and I will defend it. It don't mean I gotta like it, and it sure as hell don't mean I gotta take it.
Comment. I'm still looking for it to pop up in the comments. So
It's in there. You just slow.
It's in the private chat, not in the comment. It's in the private
Look
chat.
in the chat.
Yeah.
You see down the bottom where it says Mike, Cam, Mike, chat, leave.
Yep.
Oh, got it. Yep.
Because we're in the discussion, we get lost in this concept of race and bigotry and all that stuff, and people love to throw around racist terms like they're racist. You can only be racist if you can impact someone's economic standing, where their lives depend on it. That's where you can be racist. I can never be racist. I don't have the power. I don't have the economic wherewithal to impact others of another race. I don't have that. What I have is my opinion, and I can be biased, pro or con something, but I'm not racist. But I'm going to identify a bigot, a cracker, an asshole, or whatever the situation that could be if you're going to treat this that way. And remember that term, and sometimes people forget the word cracker, there's a racial historic presence from it. It came from the sound of a whip being cracked on somebody. But the person who yielded, what could have been white, it could have been black. There's such things as black crackers, and there was such things as white crackers in the past. And those were part of the slave ownerships, the people who were the overseers, the people who sometimes used our own people to oversee them. So that's the term, because sometimes they like to throw it out of context, and because this is live, oh, he's a racist. You can say what the hell you want to. If anybody knows me, I'm all about diversity. I'm very supportive of all races, all natures, whatever, however you love, and whoever and whichever way you love, I'm supportive of it. I don't have to accept it for my own, but I'm supportive of it, and I will defend your right and opportunity and ability to do so. But I love my diversity in the world. That's why I will protect white people as long as they protect me. But I'm not going to sit up here just because. No. I'm going to call you out for who you are and what type of you are. And in our community, our biggest threat sometimes is our own people.
Mm-hmm. But my son
that
said,
goes back to what I was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
when them Asian people were being attacked, my son was like, look at all them black people out there with them. But when it was George Floyd, they wasn't out there with us. And I was like, well, they don't think like we think.
That's a reflection that we have to look at also. Because I saw something on TikTok. This one guy said, Asians, why he made a strong standpoint, but he kept saying, if you want us to stand with you, you got to stand with us.
That's what my son was saying.
And he was saying this, and he's an actor, and all I kept thinking with myself, you had many opportunities to stand with us. Did you stand with us? And if you would have standed with us, you would have had no problem with us. We're quick, fast to support others. We're very giving, loving people. We don't want anyone to feel oppressed or being itemized or ostracized or being felt to be less than, or hunted and killed. We're not one. We're people that we're going to jump in the fight to protect you equally also, because in protecting you, it protects us. But one person had identified it, I saw recently, where she had mentioned, he says, why wouldn't an Asian person support Black Lives Matter? Because in essence, the fight that Black Lives Matter was part of benefits them also, because this is against white supremacy. When you're talking about Black Lives Matter, it's about anti-white supremacy. And it doesn't exclude people who are Asian. It includes you. So when we are fighting for people of color, that's everyone. Everyone. We're talking about Black Lives Matter.
The problem is, Mo, everybody don't see themselves as being people of color.
We know that. And how many of us choose not to call ourselves Black? Because
I'm Black. I'm Black, but I'm not African. I'm not African American.
You're not Black either. We need to get rid of that term, because first of all, I've never seen nobody the color of a crayon. It's we still they're the ones that are Black.
Blueberry.
I'm brown.
They be Black and silver.
color,
Purple looking so black they purple.
the crayon box, according to the colors in the crayon box, I am brown.
Crayon box is wrong.
According to the crayon box. I
That's
know my colors. I
man-made.
learned them in, I think, kindergarten.
But
Once I learned my colors, then I determined I'm brown.
There's a difference between race and color.
That's right.
And black is the origin of all colors. You can put all crayons together and you mix them together, you will get black.
Right.
That's where the essence of the understanding of the word. Someone could be born on the continent of Africa and be white, and they can still be considered African. Hence, the South Africans, they're white, but they're still African. So that doesn't.
But hence, you can't call them black, though.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's where the distinction. That's where the nationality, race, and color. Those
And
types
that's
of
when
stuff.
people get confused.
People really get confused with this understanding of color.
Nationality,
Or they say,
race.
I'm not black, I'm light brown.
Black. Who started calling us black? Black people. Black. When we came over on the slave
Black
ship,
people
something
and
like that, right? Yeah, that's when they started that. So they ingrained that in our heads so much that we're actually thinking we're black, because black is the color of the street that I'm looking outside right now. And if I go out there and lay against it, that's not the color that I am, according to the crayon box.
It goes with all,
No.
nationalities.
But you still have.
People aren't white like the color of the crayon.
I think
yes, and nobody is white either. So where they get these concepts? I think that color that was given to us was to downgrade us in some way. Like black, like the street versus white and purity.
Purity, right?
Purity.
But it's only us.
Well,
We're the ones that put value in those
mind
statements.
thing that we still carrying. It's a mind thing because I'm brown. Clearly brown.
Well, no, because the Spaniards, the Spanish, they from Spain,
Negro, which comes from
where the slave ships, they came through and they dropped people off. They called them Negro. Negro means black. So they just a nigger and Negro is just a derivative of the word negro, which means black. It means color black.
But
and that's how that started.
The essence of the word of the Latin root is necro, meaning death, or from the origins of death. We're people of color, and we've always been. We have the abundance of color, and in the realms of
I'm being called of color, but that black I can't.
But we have.
I'm trying to get that out of my head because
I don't know why, because I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud.
I don't ever listen.
You know?
But see, that's the problem. We look. But listen, can I finish? So
hey, Trini.
But my whole thing is that we have, regardless of how you gravitate to one word versus another, we tend to always allow certain words to manifest in our lives, or the negativity of those words in our lives. Like recent times, that word nigger has been tried to being collected, and some people have found words and roots in African as a tribe, and to bring
that
some
word
sort of
doesn't bother me either. I know that means an ignorant person, so that word doesn't offend me either. Other people want to get all out of shape. Oh, you call me a nigger? Yes, they did it to hurt your fucking feelings.
But in essence,
you let that shit roll off your shoulder and know that it's the ignorant person, which is the person that's saying it.
No,
hello.
But in essence, that's wrong. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. It was the obscurity of the word negro, which is identifying the person of color. And they were psychologically saying these people were inferior. And so they wanted to use the term to show inferiority. And that's where that comes from. It wasn't that they were ignorant. We had brilliant people that were doctors, scientists and all that, but because they spoke a different language,
carpenters, lawyers,
they weren't looking as they were uncivilized. So the Spaniards or Portuguese that were part of the slave trade looked at them and wanted to make them feel less than, and they used those type of terms. And it was a masking of words because people couldn't use those same terms. They couldn't pronounce it. So that word, that was. The origin of the word is to identify people of color, dark complexion. All right? But it's us that we use these terms. Like how many times you got in an argument, and y'all be honest, how many times you get in an argument with somebody, right? And the first word is you black certain, whatever the situation. like it was a tool for you to curse somebody out, that you had to use black something, like it came out of your mouth, like somebody who's fat and automatically you fat something. You know, it's us. We're the ones perverted that hold certain meanings and the power of those meanings against others. And black to me to me the word black is beautiful, because to me, I look at it from the standpoint that everything was derived from that. Color, you can't get color without the loss of it, lack of color. You can't get anything from white. You could only get things from black, derivatives, or the way it saturates and so on and so forth. Everything is found from black. So that's where I connect with the understanding of black. Just because the street is made of black macite doesn't mean nothing. Carbon, we're all filled with carbon. What is the essence of the color of carbon? Black. We're human beings and need to be, we're carbon based. So if we're carbon based, we're all based from that. You look up into the sky and see the space. Do you see shades of gray in space?
No, I'm looking at my skin and I don't see black. I look at my hair, I see black and gray. I'm just going by the crayon box that we was taught when we was
you a college and girl, get off that crayon stuff.
And I'm going by the color box that we were taught in kindergarten. Color black crayon, I put it against my skin, and the two colors are not the same. Unless y'all still colorblind or I don't know.
You just crazy. Your mindset is older than the crayon box in the damn kindergarten. Girl, grow up.
As you gotten older, you look at the differences.
I don't learn your colors again. That's all I'm saying.
I can understand.
The back car out my window, and I'm looking at my skin. I'm like, this is brown.
You don't want to
convince me that I'm that color.
No, I mean,
go ahead. I understand it's the term black, but with your own eyes, it's not black. You're not black.
I am. Black and proud, and I say it out loud. I'm black.
That's right.
Oh, shucks.
So
you
do we.
sound like Adrian.
That's right. And that's fine. However you look at
Don't mess with my name in vain, girl. Don't mess with my name in vain.
You're not black?
You got to remember. No.
What's that?
No.
You're not black?
That's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
Black. What do you think?
He is black.
That's not what he's saying.
Just a lighter shade. That's what there is to it.
There you go.
It's just shade, but it's all the same.
You look brown to me.
It's a hue.
It's still brown to me.
It's the shade or the intensity.
Hey, so it's all good when I get down.
Wait, say that again.
What'd you say, Adrian?
Oh, you froze. What happened?
What do you say? I look brown.
What'd you say, Adrian?
It's all good when I get down.
It's all good when I get down. But this whole world, and you know what? And the more I look at it and everything, because I'd like to consider myself an empath sometimes, because I feel the passion or pain or feelings of other people and other things. I feel it. You know, I'm a person of feeling. So I have a tendency of gravitating to different things, and my heart is big. I'm militant, but my heart is big, and I care for others. I've seen sob stories with people of different colors, and I feel and I hurt because I'm a human being. However, as a militant person, I've learned that I have to work harder for my own, because nobody else is working hard for us. And some people are working hard against us. So, you know, I was raised, don't do anybody any harm. You know, don't do no harm. If you can help make life better, then do so. So that's how I live by. You know what I mean? I try to make it better for myself and others, regardless of your race, complexion, who you love, how you love, who you pray to. And that's how I've always been. And I like being treated the same way I give out. Whatever energy I give out in the world, give it back to me. You know? Sandy can attest.
That way all the time.
All right, but firstly, this black thing,
some of my militant background.
this black thing, firstly, let's slow down with what this black thing means. This black thing was just an effort as us as black people trying to tell people who we were and not be named by somebody else. We were called niggas and this, that, and the other thing. This was an attempt at us making our own name for ourselves. That's why we called ourselves black. Has nothing to do with the crayon box.
Right.
You hear that, Gina?
We didn't call each other black. They started calling us black
No,
back
we
then
called
when
each
the
other black.
slavery days.
No, we've been
No,
black forever. We've been black
no.
people forever. They
When we
just started
started
to
with
distinguish
when we
the
started with the
Negro
Black
and all that
Power
stuff.
movement, that was our attempt of claiming our own.
Yep. Black Panther
That's what
Party,
that was.
Open Tabernacle, Kwame Nkrumah, all the time frames of the black awareness, the new black awareness. That's what we
Right.
started. Yeah, we started picking up. But the origins of the word, they have the different meanings. But we try to take that word into meaning who we are as a people. I'm with you.
Right. That's
But
what that was. That's why James Brown came out with Black and I'm Proud, because if I'm not
yep.
Black and
mistaken,
proud.
the dude from SNCC actually coined that as whoever. I think it was what's his name? What's his name? Dark skin. The dude who married Marion McKeever. Kwame Ture. I think he actually coined that phrase.
Kwame
If
Ture.
I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I think he came up with Black Power
Kwame
and
Ture.
started calling. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think that's who it is.
Yep.
And for y'all didn't know, he was married to Marion McKeever from South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Later on, with the kingdom building,
What the hell is she chopping?
the Black Nation. I don't know.
What the heck is going on in the
That's
background?
Laurel.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
Laurel.
That's me. That's me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm crushing pills. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm like, I thought it was dicing onions and shit. So like
And I'm
Roy.
cleaning up. I'm gonna get ready to go upstairs.
We're
So
blaming
I was
the
like cleaning up my dishes and putting away my baking sheet and all that stuff because I'm about to go upstairs.
I got you. I got you.
Ugh,
I'm
Y'all.
sorry. I didn't mean to get Laurel in
my
trouble.
bad. Always, always.
Yeah. But listen, I'll take a second first off to say,
No, I'm not cooking nothing.
for anybody who's watching, thank you for watching. This is the new norm 2.0 with Mo Delgado. I'm your host, and we've talked a lot about guns. We've talked a little bit about race, and we're talking now, just touching base on the understanding of race and some of the negative and or positive connotations or understandings of the powers of the
You sound
words.
like a robot. Is that just to me?
What?
What? Huh? What did you say?
She said you sound like a robot.
I don't know. So for anybody who's logging on, just bring on, thank you for watching the show.
You sound like a
We
robot.
are speaking about a lot of different things, and one of the things I wanted to try to bring to the table to have the opinion on the family members here, and it's good to see everybody here in Greenwood Health. We were talking a little bit about mental health and talking about the pandemic itself and how it impacts us. I'm just asking y'all because I know every one of you have your own um, ways and disciplines to deal with this pandemic and or how to not let it affect you one way or the other. Are you seeing anything in your lives of great concern that that you're keeping an eye on with vaccines and or people and or the systems that we're dealing with? Y'all are witnessing anything different? Because I'm paying attention now more so with all the discussions with the vaccines. Like just today, the discussion about DMX, rest in peace, brother, how he may have died shortly after being vaccinated.
Oh, please.
I'm not saying it's truth or false. I'm not saying, but this is the potential of what was said. This is what a statement from his family mentioned, that he was not on drugs, that he just had a vaccination just a few days prior.
And his organs failed,
Right,
right?
something like that. Um, in all honesty, I hope that's not the case because it's not going to bring him back. But the more truth we have, the more we can make better decisions moving forward. And the more anybody who's taken the vaccine can be aware of things, to look out for things, to make sure you stay on top of things. And it's just a concern. I know Johnson and Johnson is a big discussion in Europe right now because their numbers are starting to escalate, getting close to AstraZeneca's numbers. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a company from Korea who is shortly to launch their vaccine. It's a one-shot vaccine, and they're saying it's strong enough to protect you from all the variants, even the new mutant variants that they're talking about. So I don't know what the situation is, but I'm paying attention, y'all. I really am. I know
Well,
my
how about them paying?
Say it again.
How about them paying attention to they don't even know how long the vaccine gonna last. It may last only up to 6 months. So after 6 months, you gotta get vaccinated again.
You get a booster shot.
But I
Booster.
think that should,
Yeah.
I think that's an understanding, though. I think it's everyone knows it. That's only
they calling it a booster, but it's actually another vaccine, probably.
Whatever.
They call it a booster.
It may be. The booster that you get may be
it's going to be
another strain.
It's going to be another vaccine. You know. It's going to be another vaccine also.
Yeah.
Exact. Yeah.
It's going to be another vaccine, which will be the booster
That's what
shots.
the booster is, another vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, with everything
that's what
going
it
on
is.
in the
It's
world,
not gonna be-
who the hell cares? You're gonna die anyway, so.
You're gonna die of something. But
Like
it's
I
just
said,
like
you
the
know,
kids. The kids
No,
who have to
help
get their
them.
booster shots, their measles, their mumps, their chickens, they getting their boosters.
Yeah,
When they
before
get
you go to school.
their shots and
Before you go to school, your parents had your shots. You remember those? Everybody seems to forget that.
even still, they gotta go and get their stuff done before they can go back to school for the year.
How many of y'all get your
Before you
regular
can go to school,
vaccination?
the first thing they said.
Do any of you get
Say
regular
again,
vaccinations?
Mo?
How many of you
No, I don't get the flu
vaccinations?
shot. I don't get
Because
the flu shot. No.
even as adults, there's certain vaccinations that they say they recommend we take. I think one's is for the mumps.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Nope.
flu.
Haven't had that since I was a kid.
And then there's other ones that we can talk about. Malaria. There's vaccinations for that they recommend that we take. That's not even part of the options in the doctors. I think there's a regular amount of vaccinations that are talked about. I'm sorry. So as I'm paying attention to all the stuff, I'm paying attention because I think what I'm seeing in my own family is we're being worn down with the concerns about it, and we just want to jump on board. Like I can hear it in my wife. She's tired of fighting the concept of the vaccine, and she wants to be able to take the vaccine and feel comfortable that she's taking the vaccine. She's been around a lot of people who've taken the vaccine, so she's getting a lot of reinforcement that way. So she's getting worn down. I'm not as easily worn down about it, but I just want everyone to be healthy.
I've had the first shot. I've had the first one, but I go back for the second one on Sunday, next Sunday. So,
Which one did you get, Lavelle?
Keep me informed. They were given the Pfizer shot at the convention center at the time.
The Pfizer, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing about it is because it spoke about the Moderna and it spoke about the Johnson & Johnson, and Johnson & Johnson seems to be running into a little bit of difficulties these days.
Yeah, except for in England. They
Well,
love
my
it.
sister got the Johnson & Johnson, and she's good.
Yeah.
Well, they talk about blood clots and stuff like that. Then you have to use a
But they were
blood
talking
thinner
about that with the
afterwards.
Pfizer too. Yeah, they were talking about with the Pfizer too. I couldn't take my ibuprofen. I couldn't take my tramadol because of bleeding. But that's why they recommend that you take Tylenol the first 24 hours after you get the shot.
Right, for swelling and discomfort and stuff like that. I don't know.
So,
like you said, it's an independent decision. It's your life. Right. That's it, really.
Exactly. It's yours to make. We don't want to condemn you, try to push you away from potentially taking. We just want you to be informed.
Because at the end of the day,
I was dead set against it. But what changed my mind is when they was talking about we couldn't travel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
that's where I'm at, Laurel.
Mm-hmm.
Still skeptical, but I think
the number of variants out there now is like 6 or 7 of them now.
I ain't got.
Oh yeah, but oops, I forgot I was naked.
I'm about to say, forget that.
You
just pack me in a box. Pack me in a box and send me in the mail. I'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Special shout out.
Almost saw some stuff.
Special shout out to my dad-in-law. He's sending love. Oh, Joshua's getting one of the opinions. He's probably gonna get somebody on in a minute.
Hey, Trini.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Ron. Go ahead.
You know when he said my dad-in-law, I had to look up, right?
Yeah, right. Watch it, girl.
Why?
My dad.
What about him?
Because she was like, "Oh, he's nice looking."
Oh,
Oh, he is nice looking.
got you.
But thank y'all. Thank
Got you.
y'all.
Big June. There you go. Anyway, so I'm really pleased to see that y'all healthy. Those people have taken the vaccine because it's important. Y'all are very important to me, and I want to make sure.
Oh no, the first 2 days her arm was dead. I couldn't even lift it. But then 2 days later, it was like nothing happened.
I think it was an excuse so you can use that arm to smack the shit out somebody. More than likely.
Nah, those days are over. I'm not trying to get locked up because
Can't
people are quick
control
to call the
my arm.
cops nowadays.
It's not my fault. I have a letter from CDC says forgive me for anything that happens.
Yeah, Steve.
But
Damn, I could have used that.
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
How about you eat some food, not cookies? Don't be tense. You keep it up with the tense, you're gonna find out how tense I actually am.
Ooh, watch out now. Dangerous. You're gonna be one. We're not gonna. We have a fund. We trying to get it together for the show. I don't think it's big enough that can get you to pay for bail. All right, so we're working on it. We'll have a protection.
He said for bail.
A protection fund later on in life. We'll probably do what we can do. But if y'all are paying attention, you see how recently. Did you see how I'm changing topics. Did y'all see how there's a football player used to be a football player from the San Francisco 49ers who had an issue, and all of a sudden he killed himself and killed his family, right?
Doctor, his wife, and his 3 kids.
Family.
They killed themselves.
And killed himself. Then in Summit, New Jersey, apparently some guy who. Did you see the one in Summit, New Jersey, with a guy? He was dead out front of his store or restaurant, and in the restaurant, his wife and another family member was dead. Did I just hear a flush?
Laurel doing something.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. Hey, you gotta go. You gotta go. It's all right.
Mute her, Mo. Mute her.
I'm saying. This is the new norm. We keep it real. We keep it real and in your face.
We don't go everywhere with you, Laurel.
She shares, don't she? We should feel blessed because she shares so much with us.
He said, "Oh,
you almost got something you shouldn't have seen. Not on live because I forgot I had took my.
I know. I didn't hear you say that. I caught that. I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Oh.
Almost all.
PG, she'll remember that.
Yeah.
I'll be rewinding later on when the show's over. See if I catch it, edit it, black it out. I don't know what it is, but
she caught it.
So let me ask you a question. Last week, well, no, I talked to y'all last week anyway. But moving forward, how was your Easter? Anybody who celebrated Easter? Did anybody do anything different?
What Easter? Nobody should.
Last Sunday.
Easter.
Why?
I haven't talked to you in a while, so I don't know if anyone had celebrated Easter or Ishtar. Did anybody?
You know.
Nobody. Okay.
Right now,
nope. Not like we usually do. Because normally you go to church services and then your dinner and all that. I cooked dinner and they didn't even eat it. I'm so mad.
What? Okay. Well, that's why if you invite people, we'll come and eat, right, Adrian? Get some food, free grub.
I had a pot roast.
Right, Adrian. You're the food extraordinaire.
Yeah.
I had pot roast. I had
Hey,
ham.
Mo,
I
I
had
heard that
sweet
you're gonna have
potatoes
your own
and greens.
CNN show pretty soon.
Huh? Say again.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that you was gonna have your own CNN cooking show soon. The last guy died, so there's a spot open on CNN.
I always said that we wanted to. I always said that one of the topics of the shows that we can have is we'll have different people cooking different parts, and we'll have overhead cameras and stuff, and we can talk about everything that we're talking about while we're cooking, and show everybody that you can make a meal, whatever the meal is. We don't judge, and at the end we eat and talk shit, and end of the night like we normally do. But that's just an option, and folks, if you're interested, and let me know because I've got cameras, and it's a full production company, so we can do all kinds of stuff. And Adrian can keep making fun of us because we make food.
It's my nature.
I understand and I appreciate that. But it's important that we keep pushing, y'all, because this pandemic, don't say, well, the conditions of the pandemic or the conditions that we live in doesn't seem to be changing soon. However, there's going to be a lot of things opening up really soon. I've seen all kinds of flyers and email updates of concerts. I've seen invitations of hotels to come in. I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant, but I'm also encouraged. Like I'm eager. I'm eager to be able to breathe without worrying about it. But I'm not going to go anywhere where I will be worrying about it anyway. But it's nice to even think about it. It's nice to think about going into an amusement park. You know, it's nice to think about it, to a water park.
It's a fourth wave coming down the pike. Therefore, you got to, there's a fourth wave coming down the pike with all this mess. There's a price to pay for everything. Ignorance has a price to it. You know what I'm saying? There's a price to pay.
There's like all these different variants, and where the variants coming from? They changed it because of the vaccine. The virus is changing because of the vaccine. So this thing is mutating. I've never seen no virus mutate like this.
Yeah, it's going to jump from human to human, and it's going to mutate itself. There's no doubt about that. Then, like you said, more and more booster shots. Like Gina says, there's going to be more and more boosters down the pike. Right now, they only actually said that it lasts for 6 months. So after 6 months, you got to go re-up on your shot again, unless they can give you another booster shot to extend it outwards. So we're going to be here for a while. So get comfortable, folks. So if you're actually talking about, oh yeah, I want to get back to normal. Well, there's no going back to normal. You got to move ahead to something else. And that's what it's going to be. Because remember, after a while, it takes about 21 days for everything to start changing and for the numbers to start rising, like what's going on in Michigan right now. Michigan is having an out-of-control situation with those guys. And then you're looking down in Texas and some of these places, they're actually lifting the mask. They say you no longer have to wear a mask, down in the southern states.
Well, I'll be there in 2 weeks, and I'm going to have on my mask. I'm waiting. But Mo, someone just entered my home and they asked me what was we talking about. So I said, well, they said they're not going to get the vaccine. So he said, who? And I told him you. And they said, he think he get my vote and he don't want to get the vaccine. He was like, why would I follow the government official? Because he's saying that he's looking up to, like, he's going to follow him. He's going to give him his vote. And then he's, at the same time, he's saying he don't want to get a vaccine to help people.
His vaccine shouldn't have nothing to do with somebody's vote. It's about how he carries himself and conducts.
But get a little different.
Get it. That one right there.
You're absolutely right that it may not have to, but this is a gentleman who is a public official in my eyes, and I would definitely like for him to be able to lead in many capacities. So if we're trying to stop the virus from growing and that being the second wave, my question would be to him is exactly why is it that you don't want to get the vaccine when this virus has really plagued the Black community? Now, I'm asking this because my sister speaks very highly of Mo every time I'm around. You understand what I'm saying? He's running, he's doing this. So as someone who is a resident of Atlantic City, I would want to know exactly why is it that he feels as though someone in his position should not get or tell me why I shouldn't get it. I know everybody has their own.
Nikki should have told you that too. Nikki should have told you all that because he's been talking about that for weeks. That he's not comfortable with it right now.
That's the hand from the horse's mouth.
You hear that part? She should have told you everything and his reason why.
Listen, hold on. When you speak,
can I say one more thing quick?
Answer the question.
I just want to say one thing real quick. She only talks about him in a political sense. When I walked in the door, I asked her, what was y'all talking about? And she said the vaccine. So she never really had a chance to tell me why or if he was taking the shot.
This is mind your business, Gina.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. But you go ahead, though.
Okay. I respect that. I totally appreciate your point of view. My aspect is I want you to be informed of everything possible when it comes to the vaccine itself, and then every decision that be made is an intimate one. Like if you feel that's necessary, compelled around you, you have people who have health concerns and you have to do it. I'm going to do what I can to protect you to make sure that you're able to do so. Myself, as far as the vaccine is concerned, I'm just concerned that what is going into my body is exactly as it said. And I'm only talking about for myself. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I'm really concerned about it. But I also want to add, as a side note, I want people to be healthier. So I'm an advocate for people living better and living healthier. So all this stuff kicks in and it can really defend you. But I don't want people to be blind to think, oh, this vaccine is going to eradicate your chances of being sick. That's not true. You can still be sick. And people have caught COVID-19 or been affected by things after these vaccines, and they've suffered quite a bit. And it doesn't take the option out of it. It's just that I think you should be informed, and you should always be most informed. And that's what I try to do. We try to share as much information possible, pro and con, about this vaccine. And I don't ever want to take people or push them away from it if they feel compelled to need to take it. I just don't want you to succumb to something that you're unfamiliar with. We've been made to feel ignorant or been kept ignorant for so long, generationally. And our people, Black people, have been subjected to so many unfair things based on what other people say. If this is for the betterment of this, or you should do this, or you should do that. I want you to be empowered to learn what it is, how it affects you and impacts you, and then you make the decision. And I'm going to respect your decision moving forward. So when Nikki told me about her making the decision, I'm just concerned because I love her as a human being, as my sister, and I want to make sure that she's healthy. She took it and she feels good, so I'm happy about it. As yourself, if you're around the same family members, as long as you're healthy, that's what's most important to me. If the vaccine is going to make you feel better, if it's going to help defend you, then you do that. I want you to do that. But myself, I'm just a little bit more, I'm a militant, I'm an old school militant, right? And I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also realist about science. So that's why we're open to listening to all the different changes or the similarities or differences in the different vaccines. I even listened to this doctor in Europe who is he's a specific virologist in Europe who talks about their experience over there because their medicines are different than what we have. So the more and more we're informed, the more comfortable I am about my stance. I never said I'm not going to take, I'm just going to say now at this point in time, I'm uncomfortable about it. I move forward, I may be taking it, no problem, once I'm more comfortable. But right now, I just don't feel comfortable. I may be jumping too fast. It could be something around the corner where something is better, or we find out that something was done in error that could affect me. My existence is extremely important for my son, my wife, and my mother, and in my community, but I want to make sure I'm going to be there for them. So I got to make sure that I think, and I want people to really think for themselves. I really, really want everyone to be, and I treat everybody not like they're ignorant, but I want to empower you. So that's my standpoint. And I hope you understand.
Did you get the vaccine? Did you get it?
I did get the first shot, and I get the second one on this Sunday. But just to say what you just said to me, when you just said what you just spoke about, you're back on the track for my vote. So, so I just wanted him to, basically explain to me exactly why, and the fact that you wants to be more knowledgeable about what's going on in your body until you get all the fact. I can definitely understand and respect that.
I respect
Scott, you see her right there? She
allow me to just jump in here for a second. Allow me to jump in here for a second because
I ain't popping no trash.
Allow me to pivot off of what Mo just said, because recently I contacted him and let him know I've actually, the state of New Jersey, I tagged the website, whereas you could actually go to the newnorm.club and click on on the home page, and it will take you straight directly to where each and every single location where the vaccine is being taken, and you can set up an appointment on that website. And the thing about it is, because when I spoke to Mo about it, he never said, well, Adrian, don't put that on it because I'm against it. That's not the way. So he made sure that we have the information out there for the entire general public to actually adhere to. So we're definitely in favor. I just had my first shot a few days ago, Everyone was talking, but no one never bothered to ask me. Yeah, I just had the Pfizer shot just a few days ago. So I have to go back on the 14th for my second.
And how was
I
your
know
leg?
the reason
My
why
arm
I
was
like you,
dead.
Adrian.
My entire family, because I know what it's like. I know what it's like being in the ICU for 2 weeks. And if you haven't been there and you haven't done that, I know what it's like fighting for my life and my underlying conditions. And my family members also know that. So it makes a big difference because I said, look, I'm not playing with these variants and this nonsense going on. I was against it. There's no doubt about it. But then there comes a point in time where you have to think logically. Your life or your right. You take a pick. At the end of the day, it's going to be your choice. Because when the hospital bill comes in, nobody's going to pay. When you're laying in that box or that casket, nobody's going to. It's you laying there. That's it. So you have to make that decision based on what you think is right for you. And that's where I feel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's all about information to us because we've been led and misled in the wrong directions for so long that it's imperative for us to be informative. And some of the stuff that we talk about and we joke around because we're jovial, we're loving people, we're family, but it's serious about our health. We're very serious about our health and prosperity, one another especially. So we applaud people like Gina, who was on us consistently. Wear your mask at. You should be wearing a mask on the screen and all that stuff. She was on it.
No vaccine. I've been doing it for a year. I have not caught in COVID. Keep your hands out of your eyes, nose, and mouth. You can still catch the virus with the vaccine and pass it to somebody else. So don't be one of the ones, oh, I'm cool, I've been vaccinated, and go around your old auntie or grandmother that hasn't been vaccinated thinking because you're vaccinated, you're good and can't pass it to them. Yes, you can.
Right. And that's the concern that we're having now. Also, y'all notice how people are getting the flu shot and they're feeling liberated, all right, for themselves, but they're not thinking that this could possibly still come about. They can still succumb to COVID-19 in some of the instances, or the reality is that they could pass the COVID-19 to others, just the interaction, until it's eradicated totally, like smallpox. It's still going to be a concern. This is part of the new norm. Unfortunately, COVID-19 is going to be around until it gets eradicated. We can be inoculated as many times as we blue, purple people, but we're still going to be volatile. If circumstances come around, we're still around other people who are just nasty individuals, want to touch everybody and everything, and we have to do what we can to protect ourselves. And
gotta be around people. Gotta hug, gotta be all in the face, mask under the chin. Nah, ain't got time for that.
You got some nasty ass individuals out there, but like I said, I applaud you, brother, for taking that step. Whatever you need to do to take your help, whatever it is, that's your intimate decision that you make, and I respect that. You know what I mean? And hopefully the second comes around and nothing happens, and you feel empowered, and you won't ever have to face it. Just like with Gina, her situation, she hasn't faced it yet. I pray that she doesn't ever face it. Like any one of us, like I said, this shit right now that we're facing right now, we've never faced before. The concerns and the conditions. Right. Well,
I'm with Gina though. Get away from me. I just watch you go in the bathroom and come out and wash your hands.
That's all
people
it is.
Nasty.
6 feet.
Why are you watching
6
people
feet,
in the bathroom?
Keep your hands clean. Wear a mask.
This is right there.
Don't go to crowds. Don't go to parties. All that shit, and it's worked. I haven't put in my
you have a really dirty job. You know that handling all that money when the day comes. When the day comes, all that
money
money
is the worst. Money is the worst. Do you understand where they put money? They want to be putting it in their bras. Men be having it in their shoes. That's just nasty. Money is nasty.
Man, you imagine how many? If $100 bills could tell stories, what? Ew.
Yeah.
They use the money to roll up their drugs. It just be in they everywhere. I'm hiding. I'm putting in my secret locker. I'm putting in my secret purse. Man, no one want that sweaty bill. Keep that. Don't come at me with no wet money.
You imagine how many secret parts them dollar bills have been in? Ew.
Exactly.
Why you have to go there?
It's the reality, Nick. You should see the stuff, the kind of money they be trying to bring me. And no, I can't take that. What do you mean? You can take that to a commercial bank. I can't take all that mutilated money because we're a credit union. I can't give that bill to somebody else. What am I supposed to do with it?
Do you think that possible? There's such a big interest to make everything digital. Like they're not picking pennies or they don't want you to use dollars anymore.
These old people, these old old people ain't gonna know nothing to do about no Bitcoin, no digital. They don't even want to use the ATM card to just sell their balance. You gonna think they're gonna use it to get some money?
I understand that, but
Please.
what I was saying is that, do you think that was probably one of the reasons why they're pushing this? Because they know how
more than likely because of COVID. Money is dirty.
Yes.
Money is filthy dirty.
We've never seen a shortage of pennies. We've never seen a shortage of dollar bills. All of a sudden, you go to a corner store, you'll see a shortage. We don't have this. Or you go to a vending machine, it's a cashless vending machine. I just saw it in Delaware coming back at the the Maryland house. I'm going for some water. I'm putting out my dollar bills, and it doesn't.
Well, a lot of times too, those machines are less likely to be robbed because there's no money in them. People will knock over a vending machine in a heartbeat, especially if they think they got money in them.
I hear you.
But go ahead, Nikki.
You go see that.
I was going to say, do you see him coming in the credit union loud as hell?
More than likely.
You ain't gonna see me got a mask on.
Look how he looking at him.
You don't see
Go in the credit union. I don't go in the credit union loud. My mother told me to be classy.
Classy.
Say it again.
Classy.
Nah, but it be in his pocket though. Be loud in his pocket. That's what it be.
I'm gonna tell her, it ain't the money that's dirty, it's the people that dirty.
He said it's not the money that's dirty, it's the people that's dirty.
Absolutely.
And then who got the people? Who got the money?
If I hit the lottery tonight, you can call me
The
a dirty
people.
person.
What makes the money dirty? The people. So we back to the dirty money.
Dirty is as dirty does. People have a tendency of we're not thinking about it. Whether it's grabbing a pen to fill out the paperwork when you're in the office or going into
and they put it in their mouth. You know, they're
Yeah.
biting on it and digging in their nose. They're playing and digging and
Put it in their mouth.
people dirty.
Putting
pens. People put pens in their mouth in a minute. They biting on their fingernails. You know, it's just nasty.
Gum, and they take the gum out their mouth and then put it underneath a table, chair, all the different stuff. How many times we see stuff like that? People, a human.
Mo, you gotta think. I sucked my thumb until I was like 20 something years old. Do you know how much germs that was on my hands? I didn't die.
Why do you think I stayed away from you?
Okay.
You opened right up for that one. You knew it was coming.
That's all right, because I'm going to get your bald-headed ass back.
Hey. You know what's coming. You shouldn't have said nothing. But that's absolutely true. How many grown adults that still stuck their finger? You know,
I mean, I did it for years, for a long, long time, and nothing ever happened.
Well, I'm not going to say nothing.
You was covered.
Yeah.
You was covered, Nikki.
You know, what they say, the cover with the blood of Jesus, is that the case?
No, they said if either you stop or your ass is fired, so I stopped.
There we go. Lack of money can cause that problem. Yes, it can. Paying rent, yep, can cause that problem.
It was a financial decision.
That's absolutely the case. It was a financial position.
I like that, Adrian.
I'm trying to get Ronnie to come on, y'all.
Thank you, Nick.
Let's see if she come on. I ain't see her this week.
Well, y'all, I'm about to bid y'all do. I'm gonna reach my cap.
Laurel, what'd you say?
Good night, Laurel.
I said I'm about to tell y'all good night. I'm tired and I'm gonna reach my cap.
I heard
love
you.
y'all. Be safe.
Remember, keep your tongue in the mouth. You're dangerous with that. Be careful.
And watch those people. Be kind to them.
If I see one of
to the clients, the customers.
What's that? I don't understand that.
Be kind. Be considerate of those customers. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, these customers, they come in and they forget that they forget that I'm human too. They come in popping they lips and they eyeballs mad at me. I didn't do it.
Okay.
But don't forget, if they make everything don't forget if they make everything electronic. If they make everything electronic, then they're gonna close the banks down. What job are you gonna have at that bank? You're gonna have to go find another job. So be grateful because you have a job because of those customers.
Hey, Ronnie.
That's okay, because that's you saying that because you one of them customers I'm talking about. Hush.
No, not me. I'm a good one. I go through the drive-thru. I ain't
Let's have a
know
good
come in
one.
there
I'll go
much.
to
I
the
go to
drive-through. No, AKA, I ain't got time for your nonsense.
But go ahead, Laurel. You go get some rest. Thank you for coming on. You know we love you.
Good night,
And
Bill.
Hey, Ronnie.
Blessings.
Hi.
Stay healthy,
How you
Laurel.
doing?
Yep. So she know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that dirty money.
Yeah.
and we throw it away. We throw it away.
So we can't do that. We're crediting you. We
Hey,
can't
Ronnie,
throw away the money, and then we can't get rid of it because nobody wants it.
Right. It goes in the incinerator.
I'll take it.
Exactly.
Then what you gonna do with it? The stores ain't gonna
we'll
take
take it. But it goes in an incinerator. It does. When money comes through that's old and crumbled up with tape on it and all that signatures and all that stuff, it ends up going in
the casinos, Ronnie. That's where it came from.
I'll take it. It can still be
From the
spent.
casinos.
No, didn't you see that movie? What was that movie?
Who's taking it though, Gina? Nobody's taking it.
On the day they was getting rid of the dollar bills. You didn't see that? There was a movie about that. Someone robbing the Federal Reserve when they were recycling the bills and burning the old bills.
Okay, that was not real. I work at the Federal Reserve, been there for 18 years.
That's why it's a movie.
that movie, it was close.
Look at
it was close.
Look at what is it?
But
Ocean
it
1.
was not real.
No, what's the Ocean 11? Ocean 11 wasn't real
nobody
either.
is getting in the Federal Reserve. Nobody's getting in the Federal Reserve. Trust me.
You and me both,
Nobody.
Adrian. You and me both.
Yes.
But nobody's getting in there. I mean,
that's right, Ronnie. You keep saying that. As long as you're on camera, keep saying that.
Well, no, Mo, your cousin keeps saying you get higher and higher authority. We can probably get in there.
That's why
my authority has been going up higher and higher. But I was like, no, I'm not robbing the Federal Reserve.
Nope, wasn't me. Yep, remember that? We learned that from Richard Pryor. Nope, wasn't me. Nope, wasn't me. Nope,
cool, right?
When you go into areas, you can look, but you can't touch. And I've been in the soft count, I've been in the hard count in the casinos, and I've been on the table games. And you can look,
because
but
you
you
look
can't
at money
touch.
so much, you don't even think of it as money because it's not. It's like once you put, it's not yours.
No. Yeah, it's no longer money.
That's the
only you take $80,000 from somebody. That ain't money to you. You know, it might be money to him, but at the end of the day, you go home and get a good night's sleep.
I think
that's a job. That's my job. To count that mess.
That's the only good thing and bad thing, because you no longer value money the way everybody else value money. But when you don't value it at all, that's when you can lose it like that. So, who we lose? Well, somebody.
Gina.
Okay. All right. So, Ronnie, how you been?
I'm on my way out too. So have a good night, y'all.
I'm good. I'm so sorry I missed you when you came to VA.
Yeah.
How did that happen? But whatever.
We just popped up, but I got to see Pootie. I said, really happy to see you.
Of course. Yeah, the husband doesn't tell me nothing.
No
so
beef,
yeah.
Yeah, but situations were kind of out there this weekend.
Yeah. It has been. It's gotten worse since you left. So yeah.
I can only imagine.
It's been a lot of.
Yeah, y'all keep our family in prayer, please. Keep our family in prayer, please.
Please do. It's been a lot. I just got off the phone with Aunt Cherie before I came on here, and yeah, she's going through it. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that's been going on, but we gonna make it through it. We're a strong family. Hey,
that's right.
We do it. Keep it going, and we do it. Like I told her tonight, I said, "Look, I've learned so much from you guys. When I say you guys, you are part of this family as well. I've learned so much on how to love and how to just express yourselves. My family, I never expressed it. My family never did that. My family always held secrets. My family always did all this type of stuff. It took my daughter for me to have a child. My daughter brought it out when she got older. She said, I'm tired of this family holding secrets and just everybody don't know nothing and everything got to be quiet. Why can't we just discuss that? But when I came into this family, it was so different. And I was just like, Yeah.
Every family holds secrets. There's secrets. We found out some things about secrets over the week too. So, but there's secrets involved.
Yeah.
But let me say, Ronnie, they hold you in such high regard. The family holds you in such high regard. And I'll say this honestly, and I was like, yo, that's really fly. They hold you in very high regard. So
I love them all. I love them all. I really do.
I want you to know that.
And I would do anything for you, your family, anybody in Jersey, anybody and everything. That's just I'll just do anything. I mean, I love my husband. When I married him, who had nothing, just got out of jail. You know his story.
Yeah.
You know, I loved him, and I still love him, and I will support anything that he does and his family and anything.
We know it.
And they, you know.
So I think Sandy might need
it's a wonderful thing, and
don't
give it to me.
Sandy might need us to come up there in a van or something to help him handle some of the corporate stuff that he was talking about last week. Has it gotten any better over there, Sandy?
My other daughter.
Sandy, things got any better since last time? I know we talked about something. You up there? You okay? Things gotten better? You was talking about the corporate reshifting about stuff, and you were contemplating going this way or that way. Things have gotten better, hopefully.
No, it didn't get no better. It didn't get no better. I haven't seen my new boss yet. But
wow.
I am contemplating going somewhere else. I mean, and it's not so much. I feel disrespected. That's my issue. And if you disrespect me, I mean, I can't operate like that.
I hear you.
So,
Nikki,
so, I mean,
I would say Nikki shares in the same concept, right, Nikki?
What you say? I'm sorry.
I said you sharing that same
Nikki,
concept.
why are you in the dark? I can't see your beautiful face. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. I haven't been on. Where's your beautiful face?
Sorry.
Flash your face for a second. Let me see your beautiful face. Where are you?
What is wrong with her, Mo? How come she can't see me?
Because you're in the dark.
I just see you. You're in the dark.
I'm not in the dark.
Yes, you are.
Do y'all see her?
Just because you're a vampire.
I see her very clearly.
Yeah, it's her. It's her.
It's okay. She wants to see more of your face. It's okay.
Well, come on down here. You can come over.
See, there you
turn
go.
the light on for 2 seconds and then turn it off.
The light's on, girl.
She has a dark.
Yeah,
she chocolate wall.
You are in a dark room. Mo, am I crazy? She's in a dark room, right?
No,
yes.
I see it clearly.
Chocolate skin, chocolate
I just see it.
In.
Tell her again,
No,
Mo. Tell her again.
No, the beautiful skin is not. I was just telling my hairdresser today. We as Black women are beautiful people on earth. We are just beautiful in all our colors, all our expressions, all our hair. We're just beautiful. We're just beautiful. No matter what. We're just so beautiful. I mean, we're just so beautiful. That's why I understand that these little young Black girls don't understand. I don't care if you have freckles. You're beautiful. If you have mauve, you're beautiful. You are beautiful. If you're a heavy set, you're still beautiful. You are beautiful. We come in so many different phases. And that's when my girlfriend said, okay, you need to start no, I can't. I can't start nothing else. I can't even keep up with the stuff I got going on. But it's just, I need these girls to know that they are beautiful. It doesn't matter what these white people say to us. It doesn't matter. We are beautiful within ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's just,
I keep telling Nikki, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful pain in the ass sometimes.
Exactly. And we can be beautiful pains in the ass.
No, that's
we can.
We joke around.
My husband will tell me, you are beautiful, but you can be a bitch sometimes. I know.
I don't take offense to it, Mo, because they say it at work too. They're like, you have the biggest heart, but you a pain in the ass.
I know, but that's a trait that we all love. You got to accept it. You know,
we do.
Everyone has a trait that I guess we can be identified by it, you know, and that trait is always one that stands out. So it's cool. I really like how everyone's, like I said, I'm accepting of everybody's personality, and I appreciate every one of y'all, your personalities and how doing things. And Adrian sits back and waits. He's like, I'm just listening. I'm just chilling.
Adrian watching TV. Is he watching TV? Adrian, you watching TV?
No.
I'm watching you and I'm watching Nick right about now. This is what
okay,
you made.
well,
This is what you call
the internet is out in my house.
Ronnie,
yes.
This is what you call Nick at night. This is
okay.
I love it.
You got jokes, Adrian? You got jokes?
Nick at
I
night.
love it.
This ain't nothing new for him.
Well, I usually do you guys on my laptop so I can see everybody. But Mo, your cousin, decided he wanted to see, what is the movie? What is it? King Kong and somebody?
Oh, that's my
movie.
Mo family. King Kong and somebody.
Oh, King Kong.
He wanted to see that.
My family members.
He wanted to see that.
That's Mo cousin.
So it's on HBO Max, right? So in order to get HBO Max, he had to upgrade the files in order to get it. Mm-hmm. So me trying to be the IT person that I am, the thing came in the mail. Of course, your cousin ain't know. He just thought it was a button they switch and do what to do. No, it's not a button you switch. So I get this new Fios tower. So I installed a Fios tower. Why I lose everything? I have no internet in my house. I was at work on lunch when I did it, and I couldn't log back on. I was like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? This is crazy. I can't get on this, not that. So I called the people. They said, well, did you upgrade your speed? I said, my husband wanted to watch King Kong and somebody, and we got this in the package. He said, well, you upgraded your speed. So when you did the thing, do you have an Ethernet connection? I said, ain't no damn Ethernet connection in here. I ain't never had no Ethernet. He said, well, you need that for the upgrade. Everything went out. The alarm system is out. Everything is out because everything is on the internet. Everything is out. And then this fool gonna tell me. He said, I said, James, I can't work. I had to use my hotspot on my phone, my own call phone. I said, James, I cannot work. He said, yeah, I can't see King Kong. I said, boo, you can't see King Kong until I get the damn internet speed together. He was like, okay, all right. So now, yeah.
What were we saying, Adrian?
I just upgraded my speed. That's why my computer keeps going down. I guess it's too damn fast for it.
Right. So you probably have fast speed.
I just upgrade my speed. I've been down twice already for the night. I haven't wanted to here.
I didn't realize how internet speed is so important.
They're taking your money and they're giving you smallest.
What?
Oh, Adrian was trying to bust on me. You missed it.
What?
He's trying to jump
on.
He tried to
come at me, Gina.
And I say, I call her Nick at night. What's wrong with that?
He was trying to come at me, Gina. He was trying to come at me. After I sat here and told my brother that he was a very intelligent person. Wait till my brother come back. I'm going to be like, I told you some bullshit.
Hey, listen,
oh my God, you're so great.
Back to what y'all were talking about as far as internet.
Hey, Mo, check this out. I'm going to take that back because with Nick at Night, that's a kid's show where you don't have no vulgarity. With this Nick right here, you got a whole lot of shit going on right here with vulgarity.
Yes, we are Nick at Night with cussing.
Nick at Night with cussing is right.
We keep it real.
Nick at Night with cussing.
We keeping it right. But back to what y'all were saying as far as the internet. See, I keep thinking it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy with infinity. Because I swear to God, they have so much upgrade and downgrade. The more and more you think about it, they're like, well, you have 100 MPBSs or 1,000 MPBSs. I'm like, no, what's the upgrade speed? You know, that's download. That's one thing. You can watch quite a bit here and there. But what if you're uploading video? Oh, you only have 12. How the hell you put 300, 400 up? Download 300.
But that's it. How many people do you really understand?
Because I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, Mo. What do you mean 300 up and then 12 video? Yeah, what are you talking about?
Nikki, I was going to say the same thing. How do you really know what they're talking about? No.
You heard.
Unless you're in IT,
perfect example.
You don't know.
That's
you have no damn idea. You have no damn idea what they're talking about.
And you're exactly right. And I think that's what they get us on, because they know most people don't know, and they only hear what they hear, and they love this number, and they get us. And I don't know how many times people have been called and slammed on the phone. We can increase your internet speed this way and that speed, and they're not really touching shit. All they're doing is telling you they're doing something that's already there. They need it.
Charging you more money.
Yep, that's all it is.
Yep.
And Infinity
$200 for freaking Comcast, Verizon.
Every person pays $200 a month. That's ridiculous, times millions. That's why they have the tallest building in Philadelphia. Think about that. Those skyscrapers are owned by Comcast.
And at one time, you used to be able to get satellite service to get internet. They blocked all that stuff because they bought most of the satellites. You used to get.
They did.
You can get
Go
internet.
to T-Mobile. Go to T-Mobile. Have them turn your phone into a hotspot. Will operate your tablet and your laptop. That's what I do. I pay $10 a month. $10 a month for my mobile hotspot for 20 gigabytes. I still have like 10 left over by the 8th, and it restarts up every 8th, and I pay $10. I operate my laptop and my tablet. I turn my phone into the hotspot. $10.
So you don't have the internet in your house,
Gina? That ain't how it works. That's not how it works. Data,
right? Because
data
with people. My bill's still $300
No, data and information is set up separately. Mobile lines are one thing, you can get a hotspot, but you're limited. You know how the digital breakup that you have on your phone and sometimes not having access to the internet, it's because you don't have enough bandwidth. The phone's only going to give you but so much bandwidth. Although the phone lines they're not as congested as some like internet service providers. They're not as congested. So you might have clarity for a little while, but the bandwidth is minimal. See, like when I do it, whenever you have a video, like your screen right now doesn't show video, so you're not using much of your bandwidth. You're only using audio. So if you have audio and video, you need bigger bandwidth to be able to do so. So if you have a house like Ronnie's house seems to be a smart house. She's connected with all kinds of stuff. So she needs a lot of bandwidth to connect, and that's upload, not download.
On a hotspot next to her device. You don't need all this bandwidth and all this stuff. Y'all getting ripped off. I pay $10 a month. Turn my phone into a hotspot. I'm using it to do this live on my tablet. My phone is on as a hotspot.
I have hotspot also too. I got Verizon, and I have a Verizon hotspot. I have a separate Verizon device.
I do too.
Internet and everything, because we have so much that needs internet access. My son has a device.
But for a smaller household, probably all they have to do is if they have a T-Mobile phone, turn their phone into a hotspot, and it'll operate their tablet and their laptop. I do my Rutgers homework on that all the time. I turn my phone on, turn the hotspot on. Right. Turn the hotspot on and use the hotspot for my laptop, and I do my work. I do Zooms 3 times a week with class, and it lasts.
It can work for some. Yes, I agree with you.
Right. I totally agree with you too. I totally agree with you. But my alarm systems are on freaking internet. So right now, all my alarm systems are blinking because I have no internet.
I'll even do one better. T-Mobile is the only service that offers a satellite link. You can buy a separate device through T-Mobile that's a satellite link to get your internet service. Not through your phone. It'll directly link to their satellites. You'll have huge amounts of data, huge amounts of your broadband acceptable. You pay a little bit more, but that's the only mobile service that does that. Everyone else has the hotspot. The only problem with the hotspot is when you have a hotspot, it's encrypted, but it's accessible to everyone else that has your network. So if you use T-Mobile, everyone else T-Mobile could also link into your hotspot if need be. It's not as encrypted.
You need a password or nothing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you always need a
Ain't
password to prevent hacking.
nobody
Just to
linked
prevent
into
hacking.
nothing over here,
They
and
can.
it lasts me from month to month. $10 a month.
That's good. You don't use.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because the usage is very low. That's the reason why. You know.
Right. Your usage is small. Like in my home, we do lots of streaming. So you need high data. Like all the HBO Max, Disney Plus, all those are streaming applications. So they need data.
Yeah,
We have the security system. Security system needs data. We have all these phones and all the other computers that are all Wi-Fi connected. So all that's data. That's all breaching. So everything is connected. And then we all, like I said, we also have a device. Like doing the show, I wanted to make sure I had it. If y'all remember when I was in the hospital, I didn't use my phone because I didn't want to interrupt with their internet service in there. So I had my own internet-based. I have a device that I get. It's called a MiFi, and I can go anywhere to get internet using.
How much do that cost, Mo?
I think we pay $9.99 a month. I think that's how it is.
Yeah, they're not expensive at all.
It's not a device that you could just buy and then use. You have to pay a service monthly fee.
Actually, there is. You can buy a device and then pay the service charge. You can do that. We just got the MiFi through Verizon. We had to pay a little bit of fee. I think it may have been $20, but I think we pay $9 a month for that. And a MiFi can do it, but again, it's you're limited. But that secures internet just for the device. And because we wanted to make sure that we had the computer access anytime, like I think we got it for not only the show, but because as a council person, sometimes I got to get on, whether it's phone, computer, something to be active about stuff. So I got to make sure information is available. That's why we made it accessible. And plus, when we go over our parents' house and they don't have internet, we can always access that so they can watch something or see something or be connected somehow.
And when do you buy it per gigabyte? Like you pay per gigabyte and stuff?
It's a service. They give you fee. They give you packages. It's a service.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's called MiFi, and that's through Verizon. But T-Mobile has their own. I like T-Mobile's. I was actually thinking about getting T-Mobile's because it's an actual satellite link. The MiFi has it's a link to the internet-based services through the frequencies. 5G, 4G. It connects that way. But the other one's a satellite link. The only thing with satellite, you got bad weather, you're gonna have some issues. Possible.
Yeah, but you have to remember that T-Mobile is also running with Sprint because they all merge into one also, so they're running off their network also.
Right. And Sprint bought all of the Nextel lines, and it's pretty big.
T-Mobile actually bought all of those back. When Sprint bought it, then T-Mobile came in and merged with Sprint, so they have a very huge what they call footprint.
Yeah, I always said if I didn't use Verizon, I'd be using T-Mobile because they offer quite a lot, and it's a lot.
And it restarted on the 8th. Where the hell?
Yeah. Well, I think T-Mobile still has the rollover.
I use 4.0, whatever that means. Yeah, and I get 20 a month.
Okay.
20 a month.
Okay.
And it lasts all month. I turns this on. I hit on, and it operates my tablet and my laptop when I'm doing schoolwork.
So do you have the internet service, Mo?
Say again?
So
do you have internet service?
No,
y'all can't talk together.
You don't have the same bandwidth.
we can sing together, but we can't talk together.
So with that thing that you have, you don't need to pay for the internet service?
It's part of the
I pay $10 a month. $10 a month along with my phone bill. $10 a month along with my phone bill. And my husband gets 20 gigabytes too. So when he's home, I use his. But when he's not home like now, I use mine. And I've only used 4.0 so far, and it started on the 8th. And I have 20 gigs to go, and it lasts all month. By the end of the month, I'm only at like 13. It lasts all month.
Nikki's not on, so I think she may need internet service. She's not on.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh my God, I was talking to myself.
Mm-hmm.
She said, what happened?
But there's other
dropping everybody all night long. This thing has been dropping everyone all night long.
Yeah, the service is crazy. I don't know why, and it's not mine because I upgraded my Wi-Fi link. Everything that I needed to do to ensure that everything was covered, everything is covered. So it could be just the fact that the broadband is congested all the way around, and it could be because we're all on the line on the same similar lines.
Yeah, exactly. Because we never experienced this before.
Work.
It's like a digital voice there.
The same time, because it's so many people do video. Video polls. Video polls. They tell us, well, my boss actually wants to see everybody at the beginning, right? I need to see everybody's faces, but they see everybody, and then after that, y'all can turn on the video. The video pulls a lot. See the face pulls a lot.
Yep. Video plays a huge amount. In case you ever get in a situation where you have a minimal broadband connection, try to stay away from
I never had
video.
those
Even
issues. Never had those issues with my hotspot.
You know, even in Zoom, you can cut off your camera to minimize the use of the broadband, because sometimes, I know some people have issues when they can't use their phone at the same time they're using the internet. Luckily, the way things are set up with my phone, I can take a phone call at the same time I'm doing Zoom. It won't look right, you know what I mean, on the camera. It depends on the system that you have. Just like it sounds like Ronnie's having digital breakup.
You gotta teach me that.
Okay. It's just
I need that.
It's the network. It's the network. Like I use Verizon, and Verizon has the network, and you just basically you can call them up and say what you'd like to do, and they'll walk you through it. They're very helpful. That's one of the things I'm loyal to them, because they're helpful at times. I can't stand that they charge us so much, like the cable bill. They charge you for all kinds of shit.
They
I'm like,
do. But they coming out here tomorrow. Stop kissing me, Muffin. They coming out here tomorrow because I have no internet.
Oh, okay. Adrian, you still dealing with that company?
No, not at all. Because some of the speed that they were actually offering, it wasn't conducive for what a lot of people have in mind in doing. So I had to back up out of that. Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna give a plug. Okay. But the one thing like I said, through trial and error working with the show, I've learned a lot about bandwidth and understanding of how video and the show runs and using equipment to do so. When I came down, I brought some of my equipment with me, Ronnie, as I wanted you to take a look at it. I just picked up a laptop of a Nova, and it seems to have an issue. And I think I'm what it is. I got a.
Well, I would have loved to see it, and I could have fixed it while you were here, but I didn't know you were here.
I know that. But we'll do what we're
So let me tell you something. Hashtag out of the norm. If y'all coming, you can call me directly, because my husband doesn't tell me stuff, and it's not because of him, but he forgets, and it's at the end of the last minute. So just call me. I mean, you know. And y'all been here before. You can just drop into my house. You know,
okay. We will find your number. I will make sure. We'll find your number. We'll make sure we're connected. Good to see you. Yep, it'd be good to see you.
Yes, anytime. Because anytime. Because I could have fixed whatever was going on.
Yep.
I still keep my IT knowledge up.
Okay. Next time I come down, I'm gonna snatch Nikki up. Be like, come here.
Yeah, snatch her. Bring her over here.
There you go.
Yes, do it.
Yep. Okay. So it's quarter.
CDC said we should not be doing gatherings with people that don't live in your household. Just FYI.
Gina works for the CDC, folks.
For real, Adrian, for real.
I told you.
Gina works for the CDC.
Well, on the 23rd.
FYI, in case y'all wasn't listening, they say you shouldn't
I heard exactly what they said when I purchased my ticket to go to Texas.
Oh my God.
Public service announcement by Gina.
She's in.
Adrian, I have to tell you. Adrian, I have to tell you. I gave you props for Federal Reserve. I was in one of my meetings, and I did one of your quotes, and I gave, like, you know, I work with a lot of white people. They don't understand a lot of things. So I did one of your quotes, and I was doing a presentation, and after the presentation, I said, well, this is a quote from a family friend, and I was like, positive, whatever you said, but I did it right. I did it right. Right? Why was it?
She said, well, whatever it is, I told her.
But I did it. But don't laugh. I did it right when it was time to do it right? Because y'all know I've been. So I did it right when I did it right.
That's mad.
So it was like 3 of my coworkers in there who are black. 3 of my coworkers. Everybody else was white. And it was just like, they were like, I was like, I said, and I gave you props. I said, this is something you guys got to do this. Get your shots. Keep doing it. The quote was so just like great, right? So I was just like, I said, this is not my quote. I'm not doing it. But look, it's just great right now. And while all the black people, it was only 5. But they were like, oh my God, that was great. That was great. I was like, no, that ain't me. Ain't none of I told y'all I preloaded it. I preloaded it.
Adrian's world famous.
You, this ain't me.
Adrian's world famous.
I preloaded it. But, at that point, I was like, and then the white people, and they started texting, hitting me up on Skype.
Oh, his head is getting bigger and bigger. Look at it.
Yeah, I
was like, and they were like,
it ain't gonna mean nothing.
He actually said, Nick at night.
They were like, we didn't understand.
I know it's time, Adrian. I'm sorry.
He can't even remember it. So
I give you all props. I said, it ain't me. It ain't come up with it. Ain't nothing. I said, but yes, if you come and now you done figured it out, 3 weeks later? But okay, white people.
I thought you was gonna use the famous one. Talking about my cow died. That was the one. That's the classic.
Well, you know what? I had to bring these quotes and
it's her internet. Her internet. I don't know.
Yeah, that wouldn't
better this way.
We're trying to make up everything that you're saying, Ronnie. We love you and everything, but the digital delay is broken up and we can't tell. We're struggling trying to hear exactly everything that you're saying. We're trying to make it.
I thought you tried to never come. I thought you was talking Spanish or something for a minute.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, digital break. You see Adrian's look. Adrian's look like, yo, this is interesting.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by this.
Exactly.
I'm very intrigued by this,
She popped out. She's probably going to try to come back on. Sometimes with the reset.
I think Countess is waging the war on
from the floor up.
She feeling good, Mo. I'm like, oh my God.
No, she's all right. She's all right right now. No.
Oh, she good people. She just toe up.
No, she's fine. She's fine. She's all right.
Oh my!
I can't stand Gina. We got to take these for another one.
This is crazy, I'm telling you.
Mo, he don't care. He defend anybody.
No, you know me. I keep it real.
I'm not saying nothing bad about her. I like her.
Yeah. She's funny.
No,
where'd she go?
She's probably off because of the way the internet is. That's all. It had an internet breakup. Check the private chat, y'all. Check the private chat. But in joking around, the internet is breaking up like crazy. I don't know what it is. I think it's the infrastructure.
It keeps dropping me like a hot potato.
That's what I was saying, Adrian. You had delay for the past 2 weeks. that I've never seen or heard
Yeah.
before, and I'm like, wow. So
And and these guys, I recently, upgraded the speed. They're like, oh, you need a higher bandwidth and higher speed and do this and that. I'm getting ready to go ballistics with some of these jokers.
I'm glad you ain't eating no onions, man.
Yeah, right. What's some corn?
For real, his neck is high as hell, ain't it, Mo?
Goofy. She's goofy. One side of my head be all hot. You see it red.
That's terrible.
She's goofy. But yeah, the internet service has been breaking up like crazy. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
No matter how much. Yep. My son does the same thing with his hotspot on the phone. And it works for him, but after a while, that starts, and all of a sudden your phone slows down because you used up all the data on your phone. So now you can't get text messages or anything sent to you. So it's
put them on turtle speed. You have high speed and you have turtle speed. They put them on turtle speed.
Yep. No longer high speed. It went from high speed. It went from high speed to, are you kidding me? Yo, I said this before, but I am getting too entertained by this application TikTok. TikTok, I spend hours and I get so much entertainment from it. I seen something recently. This one guy, a white guy from down south, he seemed to be around us folk a lot, and he said something. He was reviewing a discussion that this lady was having, a racial discussion. He was saying shit that was outlandish, was cracking me up. He says, oh my God, I shouldn't even mention. I can't remember. Forgive me, y'all.
For real.
I can't even remember, but I don't. It was so funny how he said it. He was like, damn, I can't even remember it.
Okay, drink some water, pal. Drink some water.
You need to drink more than water, man. I was just watching something. I was just watching. No lie. I was just watching something today, and they were talking about how people's mental aptitude, and you have this thing called mental decay or relapse, having to do with saturated fat. When your body starves of saturated fat, your mind doesn't work as effectively. In some instances, where people having mental issues where they can't necessarily think they have graying or they're clouding, their feet, when they eat more saturated fat and less carbohydrates, your mind seems to work better. It's crazy. Sandy, you know anything about that? You ever heard about that in your field? That ain't Sandy. Who's that?
No, that ain't Sandy.
No, I don't know nothing about. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that. But
okay.
I've heard that gluten can get in your brain and have you thinking different. But I haven't. That's not me.
Yeah, it's odd. It was a doctor, it was a neurosurgeon, and he was talking about it, and he has a website, and he was talking about how one of the things that problems, our diets affect us, not only in physical and in our anatomy, our low intestines and the GI and stuff, but it affects our brains. And we're starving because of the way things are going. We're staying away from saturated fats. And our mind, apparently our brain feeds off of saturated fats, and it needs those nutrients, and we're not giving it. We're so high on protein and so high on carbohydrates, and we're forgetting the saturated fats. And so in some of us, our mind starts to slow down, or they get this thing called clouding. And that was probably my situation. I should be able to find out if that's the defining moment. Sometimes I think about it, know what, and then all of a sudden I can't remember exactly, and it's right there on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it irritates the shit out of me. I think sometimes I can blame it on age, but I'm like, it can't be that. Can't be age. It could be just clouding or whatever the situation. It just can't. It's just a lack of clicking instantly. I don't know. Am I the only one there? Anyway, but it's 9:57, y'all, and we've been on for roughly almost 3 hours. Our weekly show, and I figured for the rest of the evening.
I already eat chips.
All right, be quiet.
Okay. Before we close, I'm gonna leave you with a question just to think about. Okay, just something that you can think about. In the book of questions, in number 131, it asks this one question: do you work harder to earn praise and recognition or to avoid criticism? Do you work harder to earn praise and recognition or to avoid criticism? That's something to think about moving forward, y'all. You know, everybody's in the workforce. We're doing whatever we can do to make life better. So for those of us that are still on, I'll give you a chance to share a few words before we close out. Sandy, you got a few words for us for the evening, brother?
Hey, Sandy, drop some knowledge, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Pull the camera
Well,
down. Let me
drop
see
some
the head of your head.
knowledge. Well, I'm a little bit sad this evening because DMX has passed, and the knowledge I need to drop is that we need to all get some of our vices and try to get those in hand so we don't end up like that. And I don't know if he was doing drugs or whatever, but his history with drugs is well known, and it's a shame that we had to watch him go through all that because they decided to bring crack in our neighborhoods. So we have to look out for each other. You know, it's a sad thing that this dude, as talented as he was, is not here no more. So it's kind of sad.
It is.
But we also got to look out for ourselves, take our vitamins and everything so we don't get caught with this COVID. So it's a whole lot of stuff for us to watch out for.
Absolutely, bro.
That's all
Absolutely.
I got to say.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Nikki, you got anything to say to close out the evening?
No, not right now. I gotta take care of this little girl.
You got to take care of business? Okay.
Her mom's gonna go have a baby. They're gonna her mom's
Make it
a
night.
baby
Take care of the
tomorrow
kids.
morning.
Her mom's going to have a baby?
Yeah, they're gonna induce her labor 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Pee.
Oh, okay.
Because I am having a baby sister.
All right. God bless you. That's beautiful. That's you're so lucky. You are so lucky. That is so nice. Well,
So I'll see y'all next week.
okay.
All right. Bye, Adrian. Bye, Sandy.
All right. All right.
Good night, man.
The little girl, tell mommy that we're praying for her, okay? So she can be good and your baby sister can come out really, really healthy, okay?
Be safe.
Them fingers must taste good.
No, she's eating some kind of fruit snack.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Don't be talking. Bye, Mo. Don't make me mad. Bye.
You better check them gummy bears. Okay. Well, Brother Adrian, last words, man. Drop some gems on us. Are you there? You're frozen. He froze up, unfortunately. Well, hopefully he'll pop back on. But before we close out, I just wanted to touch base again, like he said. Our brother DMX had passed away. Darkman X. He dropped some gems on us in his lifetime musically. And he also motivated a lot of us with some of the inspirational things he said. Even through his tragedies, he was trying to motivate people. I know myself, I really appreciated him more in his latter days, getting to learn more about his music and listening to what he was saying. And it was prophetic. The Slippin' song was prophetic. And he left a gem with all of us in the hip hop nation, and those of us enjoy hip hop, that we have to pay attention to one another more. People are going through psychological depression, and we're not saying anything. We're not trying to help. And it's very difficult for any of us to go through these psychological dilemmas and depression on our own by ourselves, especially when there's so many people willing to throw drugs at us left and right, and we're just trying to cope. I can speak for myself. Depression is extremely hard. And when you are in some of the darkest parts of your mind and you're thinking about things, it's not a healthy place to be. And you don't necessarily see hope as easily as everybody else. So please pay attention to your friends, your family members, and even those people you just associate with. Pay attention, man, because you never know what kind of darkness these people are going through. And the smallest thing that you can say can help them dig themselves out of this hole and probably save their lives. So I think everyone deserves a chance. Just pay attention more, y'all. And as we move forward, remember to stay healthy, do the best you can to do what you can to be encouraged, do your best to be healthy, check in on one another, make sure that you have time for your loved ones, especially the elderly and the young ones, because they're the ones that make your life more valuable. And as we move forward, pay attention to how things are going. Um, this is never a scare tactic, just a reminder. You can live a wonderful life under these conditions. Life is still a gift. Treat it that way. And we'll wish you well. And remember, if you want to live life, you got to do it. Living life just takes effort. Just got to do it. God bless you all. Be safe. Remember, be positive, but test negative, like my brother says all the time. And check us out on the internet at our website, www.thenewnorm.club. And if you like the content of the show, please spend a little time over at Patreon /The New Norm with Mo Delgado. And if you'd like to show some love financially, we greatly appreciate it there. But as we close out, we just want to say to everyone, thank you again. Thank you again for spending a little time with us, and we look forward to spending some more time with you later on next week, and hopefully we'll have some different entertaining topics and more information that all of us can learn, because that's what we try to do, be a conduit of information. And whatever we can do to encourage you to live a better life, we will. And in doing so, thank you very much. God bless.